Hello, everybody. Waiting on Alice. Welcome to Scissor Meets Timbers, episode 16. Moving right along. I wish I would have numbered. I never numbered the golden stream shower. I should go back and number them. Oh, that would take forever. I could do it though. Because it was time before it was named Golden Shower Stream, so I'd have to look stuff up. God. Oh, there you go. What up?
What's up?
Hi. How are you? Long time no see.
The
Just
kids are gone.
What?
The kids are gone right now.
Oh, mom is alone. Got some alone time. What up, Hex in the chat?
What up, Hex?
It was a good time last night. I like that.
It was a good time.
You guys got to meet Armed Ape. He's so silly. Like, I love when people do characters. Like, and when they're like, committed. It's just adorable. He's a cool guy too.
Yeah, he was very interesting.
Oh, Adam just said not for long. No one, Hex, just us. Unless any gals are watching and want to drop on. Next week, Mouthy Mom will come on. So that's good. How was your day? How was your day?
Good. How was yours?
It was fine. Did some errands and I had a meeting with our producer earlier today doing some tech stuff. So getting more stuff set up.
After his doctor's appointment?
Yeah, after his doctor's appointment that he took the day off for. So got some more going. Oh yeah, and then so on that locals, so you're gonna have to build the locals if you want. You can build the locals, but to join other people's communities on locals, you have to pay. And then so but you can like give out free like promo codes. This light is way too bright. Sorry, everybody. My forehead is not need to be that shiny. There's a code he'll give you when you're ready. I'm putting it in the private. Oh, you can't see it in the private chat on your phone. Well, I'll figure it out later. It's funny. His promo code is funny. You'll like it. So, anyways.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I forget you're on your phone. So, because he was like, tell her during the stream so I could see her reaction. That's all right. Oh, anyways, what is October 13th? Damn. Moving right along.
Yep. Like Christmas was right around the corner.
It'll be Halloween and then boom.
Yep.
The new year. Oh, God.
But I'm excited. We're going to Niagara Falls for Thanksgiving.
Just you guys, right? Just your fam?
Yeah. Like, we don't see any family for holidays. And it's like, I don't know. We just like sit around and cook all this food. And it's just like, we're just doing it because it's tradition, but it's really not as fun when it's just the four of us,
Right. Yeah.
So we're like, I looked at hotels in Niagara Falls and we found this really nice hotel for cheap. And it's like right by the falls and it's really pretty that time of year. So we'll go.
Does it freeze? Well, I guess Thanksgiving it's probably not super frozen over.
No, but I've been there in the winter a couple of times and it does freeze and it's really cool. There's like just these huge, massive chunks of ice floating. But yeah, it'll be fun. So during the day we can like go see the falls and walk around and shit, and then at night we can just hang out at the pool. They have a really nice pool at this hotel too, and there's a jacuzzi. It's like never a jacuzzi
perfect
at the hotel you stay at. Mom and Dad want to soak in the jacuzzi.
Like, duh.
So
Well, good. That'll be fun and start a new tradition. That's a new tradition for your family.
Yeah.
It is always weird with family. Like on my family, since my sisters were so much older, then they got married. So then the traditions kind of start changing because they got to do stuff with the other sides. It's just like everything changes. So it's like, I haven't had a traditional Thanksgiving in a while with our family. And now most of my family's, they're in South Carolina. My parents said they're going to be in South Carolina for Thanksgiving. So, which is actually kind of nice because we usually went to two, tried to go to both of them. So I don't have the pressure to do that this time. So that's good. But,
Yeah.
hey,
We only have like one place. We've only had to come to my parents on Thanksgiving. Like I used to go to my granny's growing up, and then my dad got really sick, and eventually my grandma was like, "You just stay home with Frank all day." Like I'm fine. Like, and other people went to see granny. It wasn't like nobody went there, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's coming up quick. Nuclear winter.
Yeah, we're not gonna die. Everybody who survived and didn't die of COVID.
Hi, Grayson. Whoa, that is a really big lollipop.
Oh, Hex is gonna be in Tennessee. Nice, Hex.
Found a cool belt. Okay. I'm streaming, you guys. Hi. Hi, Jess.
Hi. Tell myself.
Hi. Hi, Hi, producer Paul, you there? No. All right. Go in the house with your sucker. Yeah, that's a really big sucker. They went to Goodwill. Is that a used sucker?
Partially licked suckers for $1. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, somewhere else.
I was just gonna say something right before. What was I gonna say? Thanksgiving. Whatever. Whatever.
Oh,
Anyway.
so did you watch those videos I sent to you?
Yeah. Yeah, where they're talking about the jazz. It was that guy talking about that. I don't get it, man.
Dude, it is just so wild, and I'm just like, people think this is normal, but that dude, he like really gets into it, and he exposes like a lot of like the trans culture and trans stuff, like huh? Yeah, with his big huge sucker. Was it a used sucker?
Yeah, and what's weird about that shit? How they made, I know people in the chat probably remember that jazz show. And what made me mad, or what, like, it's so obvious. So I think it was on the same station, all these people, like when they played Kardashians and all the shit, all the people started doing what the Kardashians do with them, they're influenced by that. So when they put this show on with this mother and this child who's trans, like, it's no wonder that people, like, it influenced people. I know for a fact that there was a bunch of white suburban bitches who started doing it because they saw that. But now it's like, yeah, like, it's disgusting. It's a mutilation, and it's just been weird. That it was a show, and you had this child that was brainwashed by that creepy mom. Oh, and you said that I never watched it, but you said the dad was kind of a wimp or something.
Yeah, like I watched it when it was like it was actually when Alice Day came about, when I was really hungover, and we dubbed it Alice Day. Because I just stayed in bed and I came across that show, and I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy. And then like I like wanted to understand, like I'm not a hateful person. Like I want to understand like where you're coming from, But then it was like the more I watched, I was like, dude, like this mom is like severely fucked up and narcissistic, and I feel like it's a way for her to get attention. And the dad would just sit there, and then, oh my God, the poor grandpa, because he is just like, cannot deal with it. But then the grandma, she tries to be all hip, and she's like sitting there talking to Jazz about masturbating and trying to have orgasms, but because she took puberty blockers, her penis never grew correctly. So Jazz couldn't. And then after the surgery, like, Jazz won't be able to, like, and they'll never have kids of their own. Like, that decision was made, and that's so fucked up, dude. Like, because I went through a time where, like, I didn't really know if I wanted to have kids, and part of it was because, like, when I was younger, like, a lot of girls would be like, "Oh my God, babies, little kids," and they would want to play with them, and I just didn't, you know, like, yeah, like, my little cousin was cute, you know, that you met here. Like, I adored her, but I wasn't like, ooh, babies. And my parents were like, you were way too young to make that decision. Like, you're, you know what I mean? And that was just my parents saying, you shouldn't just be like, no, I'm not going to have kids.
Right, because you might meet somebody eventually that you want to with, anyways. Like,
right, and eventually, like, my feelings did change, and I started to realize, like, you know, I'm just not somebody who, like, oogles and ogles over kids unless they're like a kid that I care about. Like, yeah, I'll see cute babies and be like, oh my God, look at that baby. Like, but I wasn't like that when I was younger. So I was like, maybe I'm not like a nurturing maternal person. Maybe that's not me, you know, and nothing I was doing was permanent. It was just something I was saying. But you're making this permanent. You are making that permanent for them, that they can never have children. And their bodies are completely mutilated. And it's like that dude said, she doesn't have a vagina, or he doesn't have, it's a wound. It is a wound. That's what that is. It's not, and this is just on TV, like, and if you say anything, it's like you're transphobic, you're being hateful, and it's like, no, like, that shit makes me want to cry. Like, that's
it's
a
abuse.
child. Yeah. And it's just being broadcasted on TV. And then, you know, like, when I see these young girls that have had their breasts removed, like, how terrible. I mean, especially, like, you know, just like guys look at it like, oh my God, they cut their dick off. I'm looking at it like, oh my God, you cut your boobs off. They're your boobs.
And they would never have thought to do that unless adults told them to. Like, it's all, there's no, that's why it's so bizarre that, like, not have this, why, I would think as a parent, you want your kid to not need any medical care. Like, that's the whole goal, is that your kid is healthy. And then now these people are, like, purposely making them need medical care for the rest of their lives. Like,
yeah, they will always,
for money. Thanks, 1MA, by the way. I remember I said on Twitter a long time ago when I still had my first account, so this was probably in 2021, and I remember saying something when all this, the trans stuff was, like, being more and more pushed on kids and more acceptable on kids and stuff like that, and I'm like, don't you guys, like, think this is just them trying to make money, this medical industry and all the big pharma people that we hated and blah blah blah? And someone was like, no, you know, like, of course I was, like, transphobic for saying it, and I'm like, and then I just saw something like, trans surgery is not just kids, obviously, it's all of them. It's $1 billion industry already. Like,
I believe it. It's happening to a lot more kids than people even realize. And you see, like, a lot of these kids that are detransitioning that are like 20 something now, and, you know, they feel so abused and used by people that said that they cared about them. Like, and one of my things is like, I think kids deserve privacy. You know, like, I know my mom would discuss things that she was going through with me, like, privately, with people because she needed somebody to talk to. Like, I'll talk to you about stuff with my kids in private that I wouldn't say on here because my kids deserve to grow up in private as much as they can. They don't need to have everything shit blasted. And these parents, like Dwayne Wade and his wife, like, you just use your fucking kid as a way to get attention. You just put your kid out there instead of letting your kid have the privacy to just go through whatever they were going to go through. And if that means at the end of the road they are trans or they're queer or they're gay or whatever, but let kids do that shit in private. Like, that is a huge fucking thing to put on a kid. And now that kid, like, has met presidents. Michelle Obama calls them like a hero and inspiration. And then this kid is on red carpets and shit being praised. And it's just like, they didn't even do anything. All they did was say, I'm a different sex and I'm going to wear these clothes and I'm going to go by this name. Like, good for fucking you. Are you a good person? What are your dreams? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? If there's an old lady struggling with her groceries, do you help her or no? Because, you're the really impressed one because you're trans at 12, at fucking 12.
Yeah, in your suburban nice life and shit. Yeah. No, it's nuts. It's like, I understand, and I think like you and me are kind of the same on this way. We're like, hey Kenny, where we've been accepting, and you look at things from different perspectives, and then they've just pushed it so far where we're like, how is this not a strict boundary to, like, how is this something you are even plastics? It would have been nuts if you said, well, I'm gonna give my 12-year-old breast implants or whatever. Like, plastic surgery on children
Right.
has never been, and now it's, it's just, and they've made it so you can't talk about it. And I'm like, I thank God that I had a big group of older trans friends who are like against all this shit too, because they're like, no. And then they're just trying to push everything, like all the adult, it's not the same, but like all the adult drag shows with kids, like showing kids this adult, and then they're like trying to teach. I'm like, kids know how to play dress up. Kids have played dress up since the beginning of fucking time. That was like, that's what we do. We don't need a 35-year-old man dressing as a woman to tell kids that they can dress up. They know they can dress up. Like, it's just so weird how it's just this pushing and like,
And just because a kid takes interest in something that is looked at in society as like of the opposite gender, like, does not fucking mean they're trans. Even if they do want to wear the clothes, like, even Grayson has wanted to put on makeup because he sees me doing it. And he was so little, but now, like, you can see him starting to understand more the differences, like, in boys and girls. Like, Scarlett went to school and didn't have the communication issues Grayson has, but like, you definitely see, like, he'll put on my makeup for me now. He'll want to put it. I mean, I don't let him. I just give him a plain brush,
right.
But before, like, yeah, he would want me to put makeup on him. That does not mean he wants to be a girl.
And you didn't
like,
force it on him. You weren't like, let me put makeup on you. Maybe you'll like it. Hey, A-dubs. Yeah, A-dubs. Do what you want as an adult, but don't expect me to humor your mental illness, which it is. I'm sorry, but it is like, when you go to that extent, and it's for attention, and it's for, I was reading this thing, like, cutting. Remember how many, like, people our age were always doing all the cutting stuff?
Yeah.
They've, like, that has, like, gone away, and now it's all trans stuff. So it's like that same, where those people are, they're in that same mindset, and they've made it so, like, psychologists and therapists, like, put it in their heads, and like, it's just so bizarre because it's so how do you want to do? Why do you want to fucking do that? Like, let your kids be like. I don't get why you want to add this confusion in your life, and like, if it's so oppressive and hard, why would you add it? Why wouldn't you just say, okay, well, when you're 18, you can deal with that? Like, why? I don't know. Especially with how accepting people are. Like, you know what? If a kid wants to wear a fucking dress once, well, who gives a shit? But now they have the kids who show up to school like in cat suits and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's because and first of all, I've talked about this before. People say, oh, they identify as furries. Fuck off. Furries is an adult thing. Furries is what adults do. Your child is playing dress up as a cat. That's what they're doing. They're playing dress up as a cat. Yep. And you're letting them go to out in public like that because you're a bad parent. You didn't have like, you know, put boundaries down. Like some places you can't fucking dress like a cat. Like, but there's nothing wrong with it, right? But like, it's like those. Could you imagine when we were in school if kids were showing up like that? Not that like bullying is right, but they would have got fucking made fun of because you're a weirdo. You're being a weirdo, like on purpose, and there has to be like a social thing to be like, look, you can't. You're 14. Why are you dressed like a cat at high school? Like, I don't know. Everyone just let everything go so far, and it's like half of it is just like you can say no. You can say no, like.
Yeah. Well, even though there's like adults too that like piss me off because they'll be a total like dude and they'll be like, I'm a she, you know?
Yeah,
and
they
it's
don't
like,
even try.
You're not even like trying. Like there was that it's ma'am dude, remember at the video store? Everybody's like, it's ma'am, and it's like, bro.
And they just act like mean men. And they act like it's literally the patriarchy. It's literally the patriarchy taking over like women. Like, and I'm sure I'll get labeled a TERF or whatever, but I'm like, it's true. Like even some of my cross-dresser friends where they're not trans, they just cross-dress, but they would have some friends who were shitty at it and didn't try, but wanted to be like, you know, and they would make fun of them too, because they're like, you're not even trying. Like, how do you, and that's just, that's not even like full time. It's just, yeah, it's just a way to be like narcissistic and demanding and like just think more about you. And then it's like maybe you could actually develop a personality and, like you said, be a good person and do good things. And yeah, if you want to do that shit, fine. But it's become where that defines people. Like we've said, there's like you said, this jazz kid, like they didn't fucking know that shit that was put in her head, him, whatever. Like, it's just frustrating.
Because at 4, he wanted to wear girls' bathing suit to his birthday, is where this all like stems from. And then one day, I don't know, she was still a toddler, or he said, when is the magic fairy going to give me a penis or give me a vagina? And it's like, dude, oh my God. And the mom was like,
hey, first shot. A-dubs, yeah. All these people say all the Gen X parents, all Gen X kids are just chill and stuff. But I'm like, those are the parents who are cutting their kids' tits off right now. So, like, it is like coddling, definitely coddling behavior. And I mean, every parent is guilty of it to some extent. But yeah, there's this like Gen X parents, even my sisters, which their kids would never do anything like this. But like, she literally moved across the country to be by her kids still. And I'm like, you right? Like, it's just funny how people are just so coddling.
No, go.
But yeah, A-dubs, I would say it's just something, and something got in their brains. And maybe it was like we've talked about, like how it was, you know, put in schools a long time ago, and this idea, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. Jeff E. blame older Gen X and late boomers. Yeah, because it could be some of the older, but it's the millennial parents are doing it too. The like older millennial parents are all about it too. And I made a post about this on Truth Social, but it was like the millennial hipsters, I remember, tried so hard to be hip and unique, even though they all looked alike. They all looked exactly fucking same. Right. They're like, we're hip and unique. And then they went along with everything with COVID, and they're doing this shit with their kids too. And it's like, I could see, like I've been open-minded to things, and I could see where people, and then it just got pushed too far, and they didn't want to like be, you know, they didn't want to be looked down upon and shit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like keeping up with the Joneses meant like bugging your husband to make more money to get you a nice car, not transing your kid. Like, it's dumb. Ugh.
On our dresser. Oh, and there's chicken in the oven.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know that there's something else.
Yeah, there's chicken in the oven.
How
And
long
shit.
they gotta go?
I'd probably give it another 10 minutes. Sorry. Chicken's in the oven.
It's all good. No,
Yeah,
it's just sad when you see that.
The other day I was watching so I watched The Challenge on MTV. Like it's probably like up there being one of my favorite shows. Like I fucking love that
It's
show.
a current show right now.
Yeah, they still have them to this day. I don't watch the newer ones because I don't have the right cable for that. But yeah, so like I found this dude that does a lot of interviews with the people that have been on it. So it's just like interesting to like have like the people that I grew up watching when like I was in my 20s to like see like what was going on, like actually going on, whatever. But this dude was on there and apparently he identifies as female now. And I was like, oh my fucking God, dude, you don't even remotely look like a girl. You're just a dude that dresses kind of feminine.
And if that's how you really feel inside, you can act that way. You can act like a feminine man. You can act like that's just who you are as a person. You don't have to demand it that it's like this thing. That's what's just always been like we've all known manly women and womanly men, and that was just part of who they were. It wasn't like their identity. It was just who they fucking were. And now it's just like attention. Like I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, and it's definitely like a narcissistic attitude that people have.
Yeah.
And I think Gen X is like there's a mix because there was a lot of kids that still like grew up like me, you know, and I had a lot of friends that grew up like me. But then I had a lot of friends that like either came from broken homes or they were just really spoiled, you know, like and you know, they grew up to be spoiled little brats or they just grew up to be whiny, woe it's me assholes. That actually some of them turned out to be like total fucking leftists that like drive me nuts. So I think it's a mix. I think I do. I think I think Generation X is definitely mixed for sure.
The generations are weird anyways, because like I said, like I'm a millennial, but my experience is completely different from younger millennials' experience in life. Like,
right.
Like they should make it based on economy or something, because I'm like, I feel like I'm from a totally, I'm just different. But also my parents are older, so I was raised with Gen X siblings too. Like it is just all, can't blame anything, but I mean, sometimes millennial hipsters, they're the worst. It's like, they're terrible.
They are annoying.
Yeah, but maybe don't fuck. Yeah. That's what's. I know adults who went to get the like bottom surgery and it was hard for them. So it's like, I don't know, how old is Jazz now? Do you know? Or when they got that surgery? Under 18?
Yeah, they were 17.
Okay. Yeah, like what the fuck? What the absolute And the way the doctors was describing it, like, oh, I'm really like positive. It's like, fuck you too, dude. Like, what the fuck are you doctors doing? Like, I know a lot of doctors are psychopaths, so who knows?
The part where he talked about the blister popping, I was like, oh my God, dude. You just
He's like, when we moved her into the bed, I heard a pop.
Dude,
and they're going to have problems. What?
Could you imagine that? Oh my God. Oh, that poor child.
I don't even like when I get a cut. Like, I don't even like when I get a big cut. Like, I just am like, and like, that's even like all these people who get like boobs. And like, I will never have surgery unless I absolutely fucking need it to stay alive or some shit. Cause I'm like, I have no interest in any surgeries, anything like that. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Nav. Yeah, a lot of people don't think I'm a millennial either. Jessica just got her. She had her surgery. We're talking about Jazz, Jessica, if you know about that thing, but the show that had a young trans kid that was obviously groomed to do it by the parents, and then she had the bottom surgery at 17, and it's a mess. She's still not healed up. It's not anything. Hey, JVP. You never know. You never know any surgery, whether it's a life-saving surgery or elective surgery. You never know what's going to happen anyways. Like, you never know. You just never know. And then they're doing it to kids. Ugh. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
and you have to wonder, like, I mean, I wonder, like, this kid is like so under the thick of their mother. So, like, as the years go on and she breaks away from her mom more, like, is it eventually going to come out that this child, like, is she going to come out one day and be like, this was abused? I'm mutilated for the rest of my life. Like,
some of those other
they
ones say shit.
Will never have a normal life ever.
And I won't even expect an orgasm.
Yeah. And as much as you don't want to think about your kids, especially when they're little, that's something that, yeah, like, you don't think as a parent, but, like, I accept that that's going to happen to my kids one day. Like,
it's part of them and their individuality. Yeah.
You know, I mean, but yeah, it's like, I mean, have none of you women ever orgasmed before, that it's not a big deal to you that your kids won't experience that?
There may be a lot of that going on, actually. Like,
I'm just saying.
A downer. But there are so many YouTubes with the, like, kids at like 20. Yeah, exactly, Jessica. We're talking about that too. Like, now we were saying, when you have a child, your whole hope is that your child doesn't need medical care, and these people are purposely getting them hooked on medical care for the rest of their life, because you didn't let their body even form. And even if they decide to be trans at 18 and do stuff that messes up, well, at least then they're 18 and it was their choice or whatever. Like, yeah, the detransitioners, like, just what they say. Like, even one girl I remember was on Timcast at one point, and like, she was saying, oh, you could go to she was over 18 and she was a girl wanting to be a boy. And she's like, she went to Planned Parenthood and they just, like, whatever, gave her all this testosterone to take. And then, like, then she was like, and then all of a sudden I had these rage issues. And they're like, and apparently it was a bigger dose than she shouldn't have gotten it anyways, but it was a bigger dose than they even recommend for that kind of thing. She was like, the hell, like, and their voices are, I'm glad they're speaking out. Like, I'm glad the detransitioners, especially because girls, like Jessica said in the comments, we all feel fucked up at that age. Like,
yeah, it's such a weird age. That's why I, like, try to have so much patience with my daughter, because it's like, that age, you start changing so much, and the world just starts becoming so fucking weird to you. And it's just,
you're learning how to control your emotions. You're learning how to, like,
your body's changing, and I mean, yeah, but yeah, it's crazy. There's another video that guy made, that Nightmare Neil that I sent you today. There's another video that he did of a mom who has not one, but 2 trans kids. Her oldest daughter became a boy, and then her youngest son became a girl. Yeah.
And maybe they were just gay. Maybe they were just gay kids, but they had that shit put on them. Like,
right?
Because that happens a lot. A lot of boys, they're gay, but they only know, like, oh, men like women, so then they, like, start cross-dressing at a young age, and they get all, it's a sexual thing. But then, like, they're like, oh, I'm not trans. I'm gay. Like, like, it's just, I'm gay, and then there are gay men out there who like men, so I don't have to be a woman. Like, there's all these parts to it. Like,
Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking sad, dude. Like, it's like I didn't have the easiest of a childhood, but like at least my parents like let me grow. You know, like
right.
they let me go through shit, they let me go through phases, and you know, I mean, like that's what I try to tell my daughter, you know, it's like I mean, I did crazy things when I was younger too, like, you know, because they think like you don't understand it all, but it's like I do understand. Like, your experience may be different, but I get the experience of like you start dressing different and, you know, like when I was in high school, I went through so many different phases of clothes. I think the only thing I never grew up like went through pretty solid was flannels. Like I fucking always loved flannels. But yeah, like now you'll like never see me wearing a flannel. I just, you know what I'm saying though? Like you go through so many different phases. I used to go to the club and I look like a straight kind of bimbo. Adam said he wouldn't have dated me if he would have met me at the bar when I was in my 20s.
Well, it's all about finding yourself, what you do constantly. If you constantly do it, I'm not the same as I was 5 years. I mean, I'm the same person, but I'm not, you know, you just like, that's why it's so weird to make this permanent choice as a child when you're like, you haven't even, a kid doesn't even, they've never even paid their own fucking rent or like, you know, done anything in life. All they know, they don't know shit. That's like, you can tell them, like, I do know what you're going through to some extent. I had a different experience, but you also don't, you don't know. You don't know
Yeah.
anything because you like you just your life is this big when you're a kid, you know? It's hard to it's gotta be hard to get that across. Ugh.
Fucking terrible. I mean, I kind of listen to my parents a little bit. Definitely, if I had shitty parents and had to go through like a lot of the stuff that I went through, I would have been like a lot more fucked up. But yeah, my parents got through to me a little bit, so I hope that I can get through to my kid a little bit. I'm a little bit more of a chill smartass than my parents were. Like, I don't even say anything sometimes, like, and Scar gets, like, so upset, because I just, like, stare at her, like, what? Because she's just, like, freaky, you know? Like, she's 12. She's a 12-year-old girl, you know? Like, she just is, you know? And there sometimes, like, I honestly like don't know what to say to her, so I just yeah. But see, my parents were kind of more like sassy with me back, you know, where I just kind of don't say shit.
Well,
Like today
you
when
know,
they were
you know the
fighting,
kid.
yeah, like today when they were fighting, like oh my god, like I tried, like I don't like to intervene on any fight that they have because they need to learn how to argue with each other and they need to learn to work things out on their own. And like today,
Right.
they were just going nuts. And yeah, I walked outside because I was like, I'm gonna freak out. And I walked outside to try and calm down. And then 2 minutes later, like there's Grace wanting to turn on the like hose in the backyard, wants to wash his hands in it. Yeah. Like, and then I went back in and they went right back at it. And I just stood in the kitchen, just like, and yeah, they need to learn to work things out on their own. But yeah,
Yeah, that means
6-year-old
you're gonna
boy,
hurt each other every now and then.
yeah, might get a door kicked in your face.
Live and learn, baby. Live and learn. Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
Grayson's a wild one. and the girl is
He's a little
definitely
boy.
12-year-old. Yeah, he's definitely me and Adam's boy. You know, he just wants to do what he's gonna do. He doesn't understand like who you are to tell him, you know. Like there's a libertarian meme and it says like toddler libertarian going to bed and the parents holding the kid's like screaming and he's like, am I being detained? This is an unconstitutional.
Bye, Jessica. Have fun in class, or I don't know if you're teaching or taking it, but have fun. She's an artist. She's gonna go draw naked people.
Oh,
yeah.
right
on. Yeah. I don't know. How kids you gotta figure it out or not if they're gonna get along.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking we could just turn Grayson into a girl or into a boy.
And then you can start a blog about it. You can have a mommy blog talking about your trans kids and all that. Being so brave and stunning.
Getting thousands of subscribers. Oh, yeah.
Even like you've talked about too in the regular mommy bloggers are like, oh my God, I had such a hard day today because, and you're just like, yes, life, bitch. Like,
Yeah,
I guess it's like people wrote journals, but private.
Yeah. I'm sorry you had to live life today. Like like my mom, she would tell me people's problems are only as big as their own. So like you may not look at something as big of a problem because you've dealt with more than somebody else has. But I don't know, like I'm kind of like mom, like some people just really do like just whine entirely too much. Like I saw this blog posted from this mom about how she didn't know having kids was going to be so loud. And it was just this whole blog, like I couldn't even finish it. It was just so long going on and on about how loud kids are. And I'm like, you were a kid once. Was it a quiet time? Like, do you think kids are going to be quiet? Like, they're kids. Like, part of the reason I don't put Grayson in a public school or any like formal education is because he's crazy and he needs to be crazy. He's not meant to just like sit there like that. Like, that is not meant for him. And when he can like goof around and play and do his thing, he's so much better when he does sit down to do like whatever little bit of schoolwork I'll make him do, you know. But I don't even really make him do it. If he says no, then I'm like, okay. Like I'm not, you know, but a lot of times he wants to do it and he's excited to do it, but we approach it in a different way. It's not something that's being forced on him every single day. Yeah, like he would be. What can't you find? What can't you find? What happened to your face?
Come on.
I love how they make little boys sit forever in school, and then when they couldn't sit, they're like, "Well, he needs to take Ritalin." They're putting him on like all these drugs and shit. It was like they could never have made that jump in logic. Hey, maybe just we're not supposed to sit in school all day like that, you know? Like,
yeah.
First shot, they probably they would probably try to put Grayson on ADHD meds and shit at school. They'd highly suggest it. Yeah.
But no, we're not gonna numb my kid up. I'm just gonna let him be the crazy little crazy he's supposed to be, and just
just rein it in when you need to rein it in and teach a moment, ever teachable moments. But
yeah. I actually want to get him a trampoline, like one for outside, like because I think because they're homeschooled, it would help to have like more stuff for them to play with outside. And he loves this like little trampoline, so you could go play on that thing for hours.
Yeah, and you can even like learn to do flips and shit on tramp. I love like you can get good at it and it's fun. Like,
Yeah.
you can jump.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have to look into that. But I wouldn't want one of those like really small ones. It would have to be a decent size.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah. Like those 10-foot ones. They're just not big enough. Like the pool's 10 foot around and that's fine. But like the trampoline, like you get a couple kids on a small trampoline and it's just chaos.
Madness.
And then plus when Marina's kids come over, need more space so they don't kill each other.
Those little girls probably could do all sorts of flips and stuff, I bet. Or like they could if they learned.
Well,
She was doing all gymnastic moves. She's like, watch. I was like, nice,
yeah.
good job. They're so tiny.
They are, but yeah. They're
Hey,
growing up. I
Paul.
just got a bunch of clothes to for them together. I'm getting rid of so many fucking clothes. Getting rid of so much shit.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Maybe in like a month we'll have a podcasting area set up.
It takes
Maybe.
time. It takes a minute.
It does. For sure.
It's so much
I'm gonna
work.
go read. I can still hear.
Okay. Hey everyone in the chat. Paul's here. Who else did I? Stoner. Hey, Stoner. Messing up your chat. First shot. We went through all sorts of topics that are very fast, didn't we? Happy Thursday night. We're doing good. We made it 47 minutes. She's refilling her drink, but like I'll have to pee, but I'm gonna wait till it's an hour.
Yeah, I'm trying not to break.
I'm gonna try not to drink too much.
Wants water. Just a guess.
Oh, first shot, was that in Cleveland? Do you remember the story with that guy who had the girls chained in his basement and like had babies with her? Was that Cleveland?
Yeah.
Castro.
So,
did he end up killing himself, or did they? I know they like caught him, but did he end up killing himself?
He killed himself. So that dude, it was Ariel Castro. So crazy story. This kid I went to school with, whose last name was Castro, and like I would like we kind of hung out with like the same groups. We weren't like super close, but like yeah, we were like friends in school. Ended up that was his uncle, and it was his family that sold him that house. Like that was his house when he was a kid, and they sold it to him when they moved out here to the burbs. Yeah. And like I went to like because one of my friends told me about it, and I went to his Facebook page, and he was like, yeah, he had this long post about like how devastated their family was, like, you know, they hadn't been to the house in years, but like, you know, they were like would still see each other. But yeah, that was crazy.
That shit's fucked. Oh yeah, Buxom says there are a lot of stories like that. Like half the time too, like there would be cops that actually go to these houses and whatnot, and the girls are there locked up somewhere, but they don't like, you know, because of our rights where cops can't, you know, they just don't do anything. It's crazy. And they made a movie on that one. I think that movie Room was based off of that one kind of specifically. So bizarre. What do you get out of keeping someone like that? Like, ugh.
So two girls were in the one room together, and then the other girl was separated from those two girls. And now,
a kid?
Yeah, the one who had a kid was in a separate room. So she talks to the one girl that was in the other room, but they don't talk to the other girl that was in there. Michelle Knight, they don't talk to her.
Since they've been freed?
Yeah.
Like
nobody.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you like watch Michelle Knight's interviews and stuff, I think, I mean, this is it. This is just my opinion, an outsider. It could be something totally different, but she had a really, really rough life, and nobody knew who she was when everybody knew who Gina DeJesus was. Everybody knew who Amanda Berry was. Like, everybody knew who they were. If you went
Someone cared
into,
when they went missing. Like when they went
yeah,
missing, people cared.
yeah, sadly, Amanda's mom died before they found her. Um, but yeah, and then Gina DeJesus came from, like, really nice family and stuff, and very loved family. So, like, everybody was looking for them, and there were vigils every year for those girls. And nobody was looking for Michelle. And he would, like, give her a hard time about it and be like, see, like, nobody cares about you. And I think, I mean, that could have caused animosity. And then this is like the hard part to say, is so uncomfortable, because I hate, you try not to really think about what actually happened to them in there, because it's just too awful. It's so evil and so awful. But Michelle and Gina being in the same room, and Gina was very young when she was taken. I think she was 13 when she was taken. They were in that room together. You know, he he was making them do things together, and to him, all together. And maybe that's like, maybe she doesn't want to be around her or see her because of them being trapped in that room together. And
Hey, Hocket podcast. Yeah. Oof, can't even imagine.
no,
And the
that it's just,
brainwashing he had to do too. Like he had to, you have to like brainwash constantly, and
yeah, it was wild. And it's like, I always hate when they say the day Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus were rescued, because they were not rescued. They were not rescued. She escaped.
they broke out. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she saw that the door wasn't locked or something all the way, and she started kicking the door through. And then a neighbor came up and helped get the door open. But a lot of people will be like, oh my God, the day the police rescued them. It's like, no, the police showed up after.
As usual. As usual.
Yeah. And like, those are those situations where I will never be a back the blue type, as I said on Twitter today. And I got a little pushback for that from someone.
You gotta be the badass on Twitter now.
Yeah. But I will never be a back the blue type, but I'm a logical person, and I can still look at them as their human being. Like, they are the enforcers of tyranny. I just don't think they see that truly in themselves, because so many people aren't holding them to that like they should. But yeah, dude, I feel for the cops that walked in there that day. That had to have been, especially the lady cop that was in there. Like, dude, that had to have been, like, you're a mom, like, you're a woman, and to, like, walk in there and see that the condition they were in was just absolutely horrendous. The condition that they were in, it was just, I still can't believe they're alive. I'll never forget when they found those girls. We were coming to my parents' house, and I walked in the door. My dad always sat, like, where you come in our front door. My dad's table was actually set up there, and that's where he was always sitting. And I walked in the door, and he's like, "They found him. They found him." And I was like, "Found who?" And he's like, "Look, they found him." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, because I
Very
mean,
low.
most people they just get trafficked or lost or murdered or they're gone. So it's like wild. It is wild. Oh yeah, Buxom, they are protected. The pedophilia is one of the biggest demons, man, and it is in charge a lot of the time. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Even I looked at even before the one girl who had gotten done with the Maxwell, the one who first reported Maxwell and Epstein to the FBI. They didn't even do anything for 6 years because they were all in on that shit. All the government people, like, drives me nuts.
There, yeah. And cops cover up for them too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot
And
of
when you
cops
get into power, if you're in a power position of power where you have a monopoly where you're allowed to be violent and get away with it, of course, like, ugh.
we have to stop putting power into groups of people. Like, I hate it when people will say something to me. They'll be like, "Oh, he's a really good guy. He's a police officer. He's a really good guy. He's a preacher, or she's a really nice lady. She's a nurse." Yes, I'm used to putting gender roles on people right now. Get over it. But it's like when I talk about people that I love and what I think of them, one of the last things I ever mentioned is their job. It's a part of them, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, when I talk about how wonderful my parents were, my mom was a bus driver, I mean, she was a bus aide towards the end. She was good at it. People loved her, kids were like devastated when she died. But yeah, that's because of who she was. There's plenty of bus aides that suck. There's plenty of bus drivers that suck.
It's true.
But yeah, people love to back groups of people. And it's like, back the blue, support your teachers, back your nurses, blah, blah, blah. And listen, there's great nurses out there. And the ones that are great at it, like, I praise them because they are, I've watched them do a lot of crazy shit with my dad. And that I know that, like, for the good people, like, yeah, but I've also seen a lot of people be assholes. I've seen a lot of nurses be dicks. Thankfully, I didn't have dick nurses when I was in labor because I was fucking pissed.
Do you know who Whitney Webb is? JC just said. Is that the girl who was like with Disney? She wrote a book, no, that's someone else, I think. One Nation Under Blackmail. I have to look that up. Hold on here. Let's see.
There was a Nickelodeon girl that recently wrote a book. I'm glad my mother died because her mom like pushed her into that shit and she was being like, I guess, like sexually abused.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with all the people in the gymnastics things. There are parents who knew that was going on for years, but they wanted their kid to go to the US Olympics, and like they knew it was happening. And then like when you could finally start pressing charges, there's like 200 people and I'm like, some of you parents fucking knew what was going on. How did 200 kids have this happen and no one knew what was going on? Like,
I watched this, I listened to this guy. The channel's called Dreading. And he breaks down like crimes like that and he'll play like interrogations. And dude, I was listening to the interrogations with that guy and it was horrifying. Horrifying. And then it was the female cop that was like, no, that is, you don't touch, like, he said that it was a medical thing that he was doing. It was a breakthrough medical thing that he was doing to these girls by massaging them through their vagina. And it was and he was interrogated before and they didn't do anything. And then the lady cop was like really nice to him, but she was just getting him to talk more. But she was like, no, fuck this dude. No. There's no reason to be massaging young girls' vagina.
Yeah. I never had a doctor like do that. Unless it was my gynecologist when I was older. Like, no, yeah, that's just like, that's what's sad too, because that guy knew he had the upper hand because he knew he had these parents desperate. It's like all these doctors with the trans surgeries. They have these parents. They know they have these parents, and they're like, they know this is wrong, but hey, whatever. Like,
let's cut kids' dicks and tits off. Like, no big deal. My mom freaked out when they tried to give me Prozac when I was 17. Prozac. You know, and I'm not saying like, I mean, we get how that's a fucked up thing to offer a 17-year-old, you know, but like now you're like giving kids puberty blockers and shit. Oh my God, if my mom and dad were seeing this.
I know, even like I told you, I had actual like problems with my period when I was young, and they tried to put me on birth control. My mom's like, no, you know, it's like, I get it now. I'm like, yeah, because they try to put you on and I don't, she came from a different perspective. I'm like, thank God they weren't putting us on all this stuff. Are you going to pee?
No, but I will.
Oh, I will too. Everyone, sorry to everyone here. I really got to pee. We made an hour this time, so I will be right back. Chat, keep up the chat.
Welcome to the testosterone moment of the Scissor and Timbers, guys. How's it going? Yeah, I got to pee too, but I'll go find a tree. So that whole Ariel Castro thing, yeah, that was really messed up. I used to work across the street from the Burger King that Amanda Berry worked at, that she got taken from. Oh, gotta go.
Yeah, I told Paul, I'm like, I know he sits there all the time. That's right. Anyways, why first shot? Those glasses are bugging me, so I'm gonna go glassesless, guys. Sorry, my eyes look creepy, but how is everyone in the chat tonight? Having a good Thursday? Is everyone drinking tonight, or is everyone sober? Jeff. I've taken I'll take the computer in sometimes when I pee, when it's just like on the back side though, not a live stream. Well, I wonder if I have. I might have. Oh, JC. Hold on. Yeah, and that the HPV vax like was a lot of, it was weird too, because you're like, why does this girl need it? And now they've been finding, first of all, the HPV vax damaged a lot of people. It gave them bad reactions. And then now they're finding that the strands of HPV that the HPV vax goes against, they actually don't even cause the cervical cancer that they're trying to do. Like, it's so insane how they want everyone on all these medicines. And then they're like, God, everyone's all autoimmune and shit. And it's like, I wonder why. Because we're pumping kids full of all the shit. Thanks, JC, for another super chat. I don't know. I don't get like wanting to put kids on medical stuff. Oh, wait, hold on, Buxom. What did you say? I don't understand. I can find the sex, so I don't. Well, that's the thing about pedophilia. Alice and I have talked about this a lot. The reason pedophilia has gone, obviously, the people who have all the power in the world, they're gonna be that way because they need to fulfill their like, they need to fulfill themselves, and nothing's enough. When you have all the power, money in the world, more. That's why they got that way. But in the normal world, pedophilia has like, it's everywhere. It's in families. It's mostly in families and at home, and people don't say shit about it because they want to protect their family. And then they're like, and then it just grows. And then every kid, luckily not every kid that happens to, obviously, but like anytime a kid has that happen to them, where an older person steals that part of them, and they don't realize that was wrong because maybe they knew someone in their family knew that it happened and they didn't speak up or whatever. So in their mind, it's not wrong. And then that's why it just keeps building, and that's where we are where it is. It's so crazy. Yes, first shot.
And I think a lot of people want to think that like pedophiles are going to be like these like weird, creepy people all the time, but they're not. Like a lot of them are super, super nice, you know, and they're not just grooming the kids, they're grooming everybody around them.
Yes.
And just
the whole family.
That they're good, you know. I
and
think
then families have that weird dynamic too, where like families are like, they have these weird unwritten rules that you don't, and then it just adds to it. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I think it's worse if you're, I mean, obviously it's horrible if your parent's the one that abuses you. They're supposed to be the one that protects you. But like, yeah, I think that definitely fucks people up more, and I think it fucks up families more, and yeah.
And now everyone's like, obsessed with kids' genitalia, which is, how is that not pedophilic? Telling a kid, like, talking to a kid about their genitalia and how it might not be worse, or like not be what they need. Like, it's just crazy. There is nothing worse, Buxom. I agree. Because this is how, like, I'm a very like sexual person and stuff, and like part of your individuality is your sexuality, and that's why it was wrong when people would be against gays and stuff and all that. But right now, the way they're going after children is just, which has been going on forever. But like when you harm that part of a person, it's like, Paul, stop. When you harm that part of a person, it's one of the worst things you can do, because sex is supposed to be so beautiful and wonderful. And like when someone does something to you and it's not, it's predatory, like it's really bad. Paul paid me $2 to flex. I'm so Wisconsin fat. I'm getting there though. All I did was eat. And I swear, like humidity, my body like soaks up humidity, and I like get fat. So I gotta explain it, because I come back to Colorado right away, I feel like leaner, but it was worth it. I had so much fun up there. Got your flex.
I'm like a little workout spot in the basement for me.
Yeah, it's a little room.
Yeah.
Buxom, I believe it is. Because everyone knows, everyone who enjoys sexual pleasure, they know in their mind if it's forced on them. Yes, some of them. If it's forced on you and made you like, and it doesn't happen where it's consented and all that, like it's just so bad. It is so terrible. And that's like, I can't understand how all these people are openly doing it now, or trying to norm. Oh, did you listen to Rogan? Did you listen to the one with Tulsi on?
No. I haven't. Okay. So I haven't really been listening to like a lot of like podcasts and stuff. Like I listened to a little bit of Hotep Jesus this week from one of their streams, but he's just funny and he always makes me laugh. But I haven't, because I get like so aggravated sometimes. Like I can tell when I need a break. So I've just been listening to stupid sitcoms. So, but I'll check it out. What happened on it? Sorry.
Well, it was just a really good discussion when she was on, and they really brought up like the weirdness of all this like openness and trying to normalize pedophilia, and like, oh, minor attracted persons, we have to accept them, and blah blah blah. Like it just, they really talked openly about it. So it was a good discussion. Nav, I'm gonna say shut up. That's because I hate when people suggest working out to other people. I've been fitter than you my whole life, I'm sure. So don't suggest how to work out to me. Thank you, though. No, I hate that. Something I don't like that. Like, he doesn't have any idea how I work out, and he's telling me I should start weight training. How do you know I don't? How do you know I don't? Anyways, yeah, it's just I don't get how they're like, and I know it's all goes back to maybe the Marxist shit that in schools and stuff, but like I think it's the demon of pedophilia, and it makes people like I said, it's just a snowball, and it just keeps going. And with the more people who don't speak up, that's why like I would always say on Twitter, and every time even I made a random comment on something on Instagram the other day because it was, and like they were talking about the weird pedo teachers, and I was like, I said something like, yes, and we have to make sure that the teachers are like this because something's happened to them at home, most likely, and no one said anything. So like, and then someone commented, yep, that happened to me and my uncle or whatever, and no one, and I know my family knew and they didn't say anything. And I hear these stories all the time. It's always like 90% of it is at home or close to home. It's just it makes me sad because like we were talking about earlier with the groups, what happens is like now all these I remember on Twitter, all these super conservative, more libertarians were like, oh, it's only the teachers, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's not only the teachers. You're just focusing on them because it's easy right now. Because they're like, thank you to those people who are being open about it, because you can keep your kid away from them. They're being open about it and you can protect your child. So like, thank you for being open about your creepiness. But the worst problem of it is in your home or whatever, your neighbor, whatever. And that's where it's happening the most. Like I said, that one girl, like she worked with there were kids who were sex offenders by the age of 6 because something happened to them. Like a 6-year-old doesn't just do that, like it's just this. And where's the 6-year-old going except for home and stuff? Like, so it's just this huge thing. And people want to say, oh, it's only a group that does it. And I was like, that I would always get in fights on Twitter because I'm like, why are you trying to say only one group does this? It's been around since fucking forever. Like oh yeah, JC, you missed our whole discussion on it earlier. It is a slippery slope, and like people, like I was open-minded. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, everyone hit like, share, subscribe. When you're open-minded and you're like, okay, and like when you have, like I had experiences growing up where my mom did something weird, but it was like, shit, that's nothing compared to if she had told me I was a fucking boy, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's just weird how it's so normalized, and it's like people can say no. And like, did that lady, the mom of Jazz, is there no friends in her life who are like, lady, what are you doing? But maybe she didn't. I don't know. But
no, and if there was a friend like that, she probably doesn't talk to them anymore.
And and we're all like, we don't want to tell other parents how to parent, but there is a point where it's like abuse or whatever, and you can intervene. Like, I don't know, because that's the hardest thing I think a lot of like people to wrap their mind about libertarianism and stuff. And it's like, well, everyone should raise their kid how they want to. Yes, exactly. But that doesn't include raping them or like beating them or whatever. Like there are points where you can intervene and say, you should not do that to your child. And like, how is it mutilating their genitalia, which we've talked about this before, about the whole, I don't have, whatever, I'm not gonna say opinion on circumcision or not, but I know the trans people use that as like, oh, well, you do that so we can do this. They're using that. It's just,
at least they can still orgasm.
Right, they still have feeling. Whereas like a girl, that's why people are okay with that, but against the girl one, because the girl one, it ruins you, much like trans surgery.
They do that on purpose. They do it to purposely.
Yes, they don't want women knowing sexual pleasure because they want to have full control and all. Which again, that's like, it's just so fucking like. I was talking to someone how do you have sex with someone who's not turned on? Like, you can tell if someone's turned on or not. And I know it's easier for boys to just get turned on and do it and go, but I'm like, if you could see someone's not even fucking into it, how do you even fucking go forward? Like, it's just like, I don't get all the weird all the situations I've been in of like the lifestyle I've lived and stuff. It's like, I never like pushed myself on anyone and then like you see other people like push and you're like, what is wrong with you? How do you get off by pushing? Like, it's so fucking like, It's so weird.
It is.
What's the difference between male and female circumcision? They don't do the labia, they cut off like the tip of the clit, which is like the penis for a girl. And that's where most like female orgasms technically happen from. And that's why people can get pregnant without orgasm, because while being pounded, it's like a different kind of orgasm. You know, getting pounded, it's like a different feeling, whereas like, I can give myself fucking 50 of them. Bro, like it's just different. It's just different. And if I can get them together, which has happened a couple of times, that's amazing. It's fucking amazing. But anyways. And the people who do the female one they do it like really cruelly. Like, I mean, it could technically be considered cruel how they do it to boys too, but like they're older usually, like they're older, like 6-year-old girls, and like hold them on the table and they do it. And it's specific. The only reason they do it is to numb their sexual pleasure. Like that's the only reason they do it, So.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's decisions like vaccines and circumcisions and like breastfeeding, not breastfeeding, like co-sleeping, not co-sleeping. Like, dude, there's so much information that contradicts each other on like all those topics. And it's overwhelming as a parent. But I can say that I never felt pushed into anything.
That's
like
good.
Because that would have, probably.
Yeah, you're like, just try to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That's why we get along, because we're like, I would never tell you to do something, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're the kind of, we get that in our lives. We're like, you don't tell someone how to do this. There's certain things with people's lives you don't tell them what to do, like working out. The guy yelled at, like, you don't tell people unless they ask, right? Ugh.
Yeah, like I don't tell people how to parent at all, because I don't know, like, I mean, I don't know your family. I don't know your family dynamic. Well, I guess, I mean, my friends, like, I know their family dynamic to an extent, but it's like, it's still not my family.
You're not there. You're not there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like, people just parent differently, like, Adam definitely cusses like more than I do, for sure. Like, I can't, like, my parents was like, could be really funny and silly and definitely say things that you wouldn't expect parents to say, but like, they were very conservative in ways, so like sometimes the way my family behaves is just like so disappointing.
Love it.
Like, especially at the dinner table. Like, I mean, some days it's fine, but other days I'm just like, oh my God, like, this is not how we act at a dinner table, like, at all.
And it's okay for you to say that and be like, listen, this is how we're going to act. Like, oh yeah, Brady, they do say the,
okay, Adam too, though.
Yeah.
It's not just like,
that's just a dad. That's good to have like a fun, crazy dad, though. Like, or like, silly dad, a goofy dad. That's the best kind of dad to have. So, in my opinion. Brady, yes, they say technically with like when you have the foreskin still, it keeps the tip more sensitive. So that's what they say. That's people who are against it say, which that kind of makes sense. But dudes are still out there fucking plenty fine.
Okay, so I might get some hate for this, but do you guys need to be more turned on than they already are?
Some do, but yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's true. It's like, I think they're fine. They're fucking like coming when they're 13 because they like had a stiff breeze or so. Yeah, exactly. Oh, good, Arm Dape. He helped. I felt bad when he was like, I've been on YouTube for 14 fucking years creating content. That's good.
I followed him today. I remembered to
Okay.
follow. I followed you on Rumble.
I posted a thing in my Discord for people to follow him on YouTube too. But yeah, everyone needs to follow everyone on Rumble and Odyssey because that's like the new thing. And I don't know how the hell to do it, but
To do what?
all the fucking like tech stuff. I told Paul today, I'm like, man, when MySpace and shit came out, because I was a bookkeeper, working this desk job on the computer all the time. So like, yeah, when all that stuff was getting invented, like AOL, all that shit, it was like cool. It was fun. It was like, and like when MySpace came out, I had a MySpace. I was like, love that shit. And then I was like pissed off I couldn't get on Facebook because I didn't go to college because you had to go for a while. You had to go to college. And then when it was opened up, I was like, oh yeah, And now I'm like, fuck. Like I wish I never got on half of them. But now, like, because I would like something to happen with Forest Mommy, whatever it is, with the universe, with everybody, with all of us, like. But you have to fucking put the tech work in, and I'm like, oh shit, man.
Yeah, I was actually, I was terrified when he was opening the laptop, but it's like nice to see Adam taking an interest and, yeah, wanting to get stuff set up and shit.
Oh, first shot bragging, he found. Well, first shot, yeah, because I found Armed Ape through TT too. So I love the TT crossover. But at the last two, TT's like, Jesus, she stole all my followers. I'm like, I love him. I love him to death. And I love, so like with getting banned off of Twitter was just a bummer because that's where I had my big following. Like that's the only place I had that big of a following. So when they take that away, it's like, oh shit, I got to figure out. But TT even has like, oh shit, he was before. Well, look at you, first shot. You've been a little YouTuber for it. But like TT doesn't do anything on Twitter, but he has such a huge YouTube, so it's like you just got to figure it out, Oh, Buxo, I know I have like I'm annoying my Instagram because I loved all the little videos I could just make and throw on Twitter, or like all these stupid thought. What did I say? I wanted to post something today, like I forget. It was something stupid and kind of like sexual, but like the only place I can post that is Twitter, and I can't. Like I don't have it. I can't put it there. But it was so stupid. It's just like annoying, but who knows? We'll see. I keep appealing the original one and Desert Daddy. Well, the Desert Daddy one, they still never. The Terminator Mommy, they never gave me a reason. They still never gave me a reason. So fuck them.
Because you're you.
I really think it was because I said groomer or whatever. Like it literally happened right after I made that post. So it must have been that for them to not give me a reason. And then I was getting mad because libs of TikTok kept getting kicked out. They get like just regular suspensions instead. And I'm like, I like what libs of TikTok is doing where they just repost. I said this last night, but they repost stuff and they keep getting back on. So I'm like, are they using a lawyer or something? Because like technically the things I've done that got me banned aren't as bad as what they do, but they don't do anything technically bad, obviously. But like for the people at the powers that be, they are committing a worse crime than me. So like, oh, Paul's pumped that he has more followers than Forest Mommy. Well, whatever. It's all good. I just loved what it became and the. Like you saw did you see my friend Jacob who like looked in the screen last night? Like I've met all these people and like, it was such a beautiful thing. And I don't know. And I love the new, you get the news right away on Twitter. If I wasn't on Twitter, I would have never known about that Memphis kid who was live streaming him going around shooting people, and then like the guy who ran into the parade that got buried. All that was on Twitter at the very, very like as it was happening. So that's why I really like Twitter is you see a lot of things that the mainstream media won't give you. And I don't have to like go looking for it because it's just in my feed that I'm going through anyways. You know what I mean? And then I can look from there. But you think, Paul, I'm so pissed I got banned on a VPN and I wasn't even out. I was in another fucking state and they still fucking banned me. And they said it was because I was liking too much or following too many people. And it was like I wasn't even on there all that week. And that I popped onto it like twice and I wasn't even like liking or following any. It's just such bullshit. Sorry. What were you gonna say?
I forgot.
Yeah. What's like it's just annoying. Like, me and Hex. What's so bad about me and Hex? Nothing. Hex should be like, but Hex doesn't follow their narrative, especially. So that's part of it.
Right.
But
that's a big reason they don't like Hex, for sure.
Can't have free thinkers. Oh, what'd you think of Alex Jones and his $1 billion? I think we said that. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, I cannot stand Alex Jones. Like, for the life of me. Like,
right.
I like, and like, as a parent, you know, and I hate being somebody that says that, but like, you don't know the feeling of just thinking about something like that happening to your kids. Like, it's this horrible feeling that you've never felt before in your life that you suddenly feel after having kids. And I just like think he was so fucking out of line. Just so out of line to go after those parents like he did. And like, but at the same time, that is fucking insane. I cannot believe.
Like, even what he said and went after them, how is that worse than the president lying about the fucking vaccine?
$1 billion. Now, I'm not sure the ins and outs of what happened to those families because of what he said. I did, you know, I don't know, like, defamation law there, because like for defamation you have to affect somebody's life to like a certain extent or whatever, and I don't know how it varies from state to state, but you know, I honestly could have understood like maybe $1 million, but not even
like whatever. And he said stuff, but he never even like went after the, like, what happened is dum-dums were like, other dum-dums listened to him and were doing like, oh. And then, but I'm like, how is that any different from what the government does when they say lies and people do shit, you know, like fucking a global pandemic and all this like shit, like, and you know what, like, and I mean, how are we allowed to say the Vegas shooting wasn't what they've told us, but you don't get like in trouble for that, you know what I mean? So like, they're really trying to make like a example out of him, obviously, but then I'm like, people don't understand. Like, if you are okay with silencing someone, like the way you silence someone that you don't like is by you don't fucking listen to them. You don't fucking listen to them. It's that fucking easy. So all the people who are like okay with it, it's like, okay, well, they're gonna come after you. They're gonna, you at some point your speech will get, and that's funny when the left does start eating itself sometimes with shit, because they'll like say something and then they're like, no, like Tulsi Gabbard, so she made this announcement where she's leaving the Democratic Party, and she literally said, it's actually pretty good. And she was like, not that I love her or anything, but I'm like, wow, she said this out loud. Like, she said, you know, they racialize everything and push white, like racism against white people. I was like, whoa, girl. Like, you know, that's another thing she talked about with Rogan, is just like the crazy AOC types and all these people. And she's like, they're not even Democrats. They're not even, you know, they just are in it for the power and the woke, you know, how they can control people with that woke stuff. And yeah, Armed Ape, exactly. Like, and I have shit pulled off of YouTube for like truth. Like, it's just, like, people just don't, and they want to make example. They like, even some libertarians at one point were like, well, you want to be what? Like Alex Jones? Like, they've made it so it's like what they did with everybody on the right. Like, you can just condescend against them and be like, oh, you're just like that person, blah, blah, blah. Like, I remember people were like, well, it has to be real media. It can't be like Alex Jones. I'm like, well, Alex Jones did say some real shit at one point that was true. So like you can't like say that. Whereas like we had the media for the last 2 years lying to people, literally lying to people. Rachel Maddow, that fucking Rachel Maddow video. Everyone needs to get this vaccine because it'll stop the transmissions. It is spells, Paul. But like, how is she still like okay? She literally lied. We know now. We all kind of knew all this shit anyways, but now they're actually fucking admitting it on camera. How does they have a job? How do they have a job still? How am I banned off of Twitter and they literally lied on something that made people lose their jobs? It made people sicker. Everybody got the fucking vaccine, still got sick anyway. Like, what did I do that's so bad? But Rachel Maddow lying about the vaccine. And they were lying. They were told to say that shit. They didn't check. They didn't go check if there was like studies on that shit. They just said what they were going to say. And like, but that's okay because they're the powers that be. So yeah, first shot. The amount I had people literally calling me alt-right and all this shit the whole time. And Trumper, like they just all the hey Jimmy, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm Dave. Rules for thee, but not. It's exactly that. When you have all the power and control, what the fuck? I don't fucking care. You know? Did you see that video of that the Pfizer exec saying that?
Yeah. It's so fucked up, dude.
And like, it won't be on the mainstream news, of course.
Yeah, but you know, $1 billion towards Alex Jones.
Yeah, that's more on the news than the fucking everything that this Pfizer did that was fucked up. Like you would think that would be like, but they're waiting to use it against Trump. That's all they're doing. So like,
yeah, and you can think all the things that Alex Jones said was fucked up when it came to Sandy Hook, and like, but how do you not see that they're charging this dude $1 billion? You know, and I get the families were caused emotional pain because of that, but like, I mean, did you die? Because people have died from the vaccine. You know what I mean? Like, people have serious injuries because of the vaccine. People still got, like, I know vaccinated people that have still gotten COVID. Like, they still get it.
They all did. No, that's
it's wild in the reactions that people are having. And like, I am not anti-vax at all, you know, like I never saw myself as like an anti-vax person, but there were like the Hep C or Hep C or what it was that they had to be vaccinated for. Like, I thought that one was kind of weird, you know, like I questioned that one, but like I was never like this anti-vaccine person. Like I think
medicine makes sense sometimes.
Yeah, I think we've come a long way in medicine. I'm not against natural stuff, but I'm also not against like actual medicine, you know? But like, this was a vaccine that was just put out, and it's like, yeah, is it good to like lift some regulations? Yeah, you know, and test people that want to be tested, but then to just push this vaccine when you haven't tested it on that many people yet, you know, like that's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. And they like, yeah, and you know, but Alex Jones.
They destroyed like so like I can't even like talk about it half the time because it's just like so frustrating. It's so man, the last 2 years are fucked up, man. Like it's just I'm kind of glad it happened for what the silver lining aspects is, and also it's just like, oh, I sent an email today. Oh, I wonder if I got a response to that one organization I was volunteering for that wouldn't let me come to our first in-person meeting. I sent the president of the board of email today, and I was like, "Hey, is this organization gonna give a formal apology for discriminating against people last October?" I totally was like, "I don't care," and I was like, just briefly, like there's admissions out there now that it wasn't about any transmission, and a lot of us were saying that, blah blah. But I said something like, "I think it would be good for businesses and organizations to get ahead of this before there's more lawsuits, because I know some businesses have already gotten sued for requiring the vaccine and then like firing people about it. So I'm like, we need to let the lawsuit. It sucks though that like even that Pfizer person admitting it now, like it sucks that it always happens after the fact. Like that's what I hate about government and shit. It always happens after the fact. You know what I mean? Drives me nuts. So it's like, what's the point of the government if they don't protect us in the moment? Especially like there's no fucking good.
What you guys doing?
First shot. I know I just got monetized. Yeah, maybe we should stop talking about it.
I was about to go in my bedroom, but they're in there. It's cold outside.
Exactly, first shot. They got their. I was laughing today because like people like hate capitalism, what they define it as. So they hate capitalism so much that they needed the government to scare everybody to use our money to make them, the pharma, more rich and scare us into taking their product because capitalism sucks. That's what had to happen. And like, oh, and Paul, she can't look at the Oh, Paul, did you tell Adam? It's good. Because she can't look at the chats. We figured that out earlier. Anyways, what's some good news? What's good in the chat? What's some good news people got? Try to think what I have.
I know the code.
Oh, did you hear it? Paul was so excited about that. It was funny.
It's getting cold out there.
Oh, it's chilly in the breezeway. Oh yeah, I guess it's gonna start getting cold now.
Yeah, that's another reason. I gotta hurry up and get that podcasting area set up. But it sucks because we have one of those electric fireplaces down there that actually gives off heat. But we only have a couple plugs we can plug it into, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to have that next to where I'm going to be. Hey, Pumpkin.
We'll figure it out.
Figure something out. Maybe I'll just get another one.
Are you tired? Do you want us to keep going?
No, I'm good. I was just freezing out there.
I'm even chilly in here. I need to get a jacket. I'm gonna grab a sweatshirt really quick.
Grayson has to go to bed soon. Should be pretty rough.
Anyways.
Grayson's going to bed soon.
What? I couldn't barely hear you.
Grayson's going to bed soon.
Oh, good. I'm like, oh, good. Terrible. I'm a terrible person. What was I gonna say? Oh, my trip to Wisconsin was great. It was fun hanging with my family, and we brought the little dog with, and he did fine at the drive because it's a long drive. What?
It looked really pretty there. You look weird, Adam.
It was so beautiful. Like I've been there around this time before, but for some reason, like it's different every year. If they get an early freeze, the leaves are different. It's just different every year. But yeah, it was so. I was walking through this forest, and it's just like it felt like walking through an oil painting. And then like it was so gold sometimes that I was just like I felt like it was just gold. Like I felt like I was just in gold. It was so crazy.
It did look really pretty.
Oh, Jeff, that's good. He says he had his tomatoes took off and his grandmother canned them for him while he was out of town. That's nice because that's like the work. I always am like bad with my tomatoes at the end of the season. They're crazy, and I'm like, I should can them, but I'm like, fuck it. First shot, I don't think weed's legal in Wisconsin. Maybe, let me look it up. Maybe medically. Let's see here. But I drove out there, so. And I didn't drink. Like I went to Wisconsin. I was like in the top 10 drinking county in all of America. And I didn't drink. I was like so proud of myself. Until yesterday. And today. Shrinking number of states. Oh, no, Wisconsin doesn't have medicinal or recreational. That's so dumb. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Because you can grow shit so good there. It's like such a good growing place. Whatever. Hopefully they change it.
It's kind of cold in here too. Okay. Don't turn the heat on though, because then I'll get hot. I can't regulate my body temperature. I'm like a child. Like a baby.
We're girls too. Sorry, I have to respond to a text.
There's more really cute kittens up for adoption.
Oh.
I was like, you're lucky we're going to Cedar Point this weekend. Because we would have gotten at least one of them. They were so cute. Oh, they were so cute. Oh my God. But yeah.
I know, there's like, I keep seeing a bunch. I'm by my Instagram more, and I followed a bunch of kitty pages, and I'm like, like local ones where they're gonna be adoptable.
Yeah, it's rough looking at them, but it would just be so much to deal with in the process of trying to get the basement finished.
Right. Yeah, maybe after that you'll be.
When they're like little babies like that. Yeah.
I know, and they're so cute. Like I asked the brother of the guy who had that other kitty. I was like, "Is it working out for them?" Because he had a cat already and stuff, so you never know, right? And so I was like, "Hey, is it working out?" And they're like, "Oh, the first night was rough, I guess, but now they're like the cats are best friends." I was like, "Oh, okay, fine."
That cat was adorable. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she was so sweet. Like it was adorable. I'll get another one too. And even he knows like it would be good for her to have a friend. She needs to be a mommy. She wants to be a mommy.
And sometimes it takes a while, and like sometimes they may not even become like buddies, but they'll be able to coexist. Like some of my cats can be dicks to each other. Our little Bentley Boo, supposed to be like so innocent. He's such a little bully now. It's like one day he just realized his size.
I feel like she'd be all right, but she doesn't know she's a cat. But I feel like because I bring new dogs in the house all the time, and she ends up being fine with the dog. So I'm like, I feel like maybe a kitty.
Yeah, she'd probably be fine with a kitten.
Yeah,
for sure.
She wants friends. She wants someone to hang out with.
I mean, I bet Adam's so happy we're going to Cedar Point because he knows I probably would have. So the weather's supposed to be nice this weekend too.
And you're going during the day and doing like you're not doing the nighttime stuff, but Adam and Scar will do like the Halloween stuff.
Yeah, and her friend's coming with her, so we have the 2 rooms. So at least like when I'm there with Grayson, like, we can have a separate TV if we want. But he's usually pretty calm at hotels. Like he's really funny he like loves going to hotels.
They're great.
Yeah. So he's all excited. Like he's like, one more wake up. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go to the hotel.
That's fun. Oh yeah, first shot sent a text to Paul, and it was something like he was doing something in the kitchen on the remodel. He had his Arab things in. He was listening to us, and I guess his wife like picked the phone up and looked at it and said, "Forest Mommy." And then first shot was like, "Yeah, I think that's her name or something." Like, just like played it off. Too funny. She was like, "Forest Mommy." It's so funny how people are accepting of that. Like, even though the guy, the LP candidate for Secretary of State, like he was like, he knew my, my real name and all that, and he's like, I'm still good. He's this older, like he's so cool, and he was like, I'm still gonna call you mother. Like it's just like, okay, cool, dude. Like I'm fine with that. And he doesn't even know Twitter and Forest Mommy really at all. I reached out to him to come on just to get his name out there and stuff, but. Oh, it's so crazy out here too with the local 9 news out here. They're like, oh, we're doing all these debates. They didn't reach out to any libertarians, of course, for local. And I understand why people don't want to go third party on bigger elections because it's not really democracy. It's like they say it, like they're like, well, you take votes away for this person or that, whatever, which is stupid, but that's like a whole discussion. But I'm like, locally, this is where it matters because there's more than just the 2 people. Like, there's like for Secretary of State, there's like 5 or 6 people running, but they only talk to 2 of them. So it's like, how is that even fair? How is that even like? And then they make it all bipartisan thing, which 9 News does suck. Those people, that was that post. I wonder if he's who got me banned and reported me. But he was like, I shared his thing, Chris Manderveen. He was like, if you said the pandemic was over in fall 2020, you owe me an apology or something. And it was like, what? And I shared it to Liberty Twitter. That was the Thursday I hopped on up there, and like everybody went after him. And then of course he's like, wow, all these bots. Whoa. And then I understand and then he I saw another post later on, and he was like, wow, it seems like all these bots who call me, all these anti-vax bots are also pro Putin. And I'm like, bro, you are the bot. You're repeating exactly what you're fucking told, and you're calling other people call you a shit journalist, and you're calling them bots and shit. Like it was just like, and that's who's giving out the news. And then they're like, the governor's race, which again they didn't reach. We do have an LP candidate. They didn't reach out to him. So the GOP candidate is this gal, and she was like, no, I'm not going to the debate because she doesn't like this news channel. So then they're making it into this whole fucking thing, talking about it, blah, blah. And I'm like, but you guys didn't even ask for other candidates to come to your tiny little, our state debates, which is a state. We should have everybody's voice out there, like, it's just, I hate these people. I hate them. Like these, he was the one too. I said something like, hey, Kyle Clark, remember when you were trying to shame people for being on an outdoor beach, blah, blah, blah. And then he responded. He was like, no, I didn't. And then, but it was like, literally he did. Like that was, and we were like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how are these? He's probably about my age. There's all these men. Oh, and that was another thing on one of the accounts before I got banned. This one journalist is like, oh, I had to drive an hour to get these files because this whatever city didn't have them online. So I shared it, and I was like, journalist complains about having to do journalism, like to go. And then he was like, oh, she's new. But I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, calm the fuck down. Like, they're so fucking full of themselves. It's just like, you're not a big enough news person that you're going to be against the wall too, motherfucker. So like, who the fuck you think you are? They're not going to give you special privileges. It's just, it drives me nuts. They're so bought in and awful. And then they're sneering. Like, people think Trump's tweets were mean. Some of these news anchors in local cities and towns, their tweets are fucking mean, like sneering, condescending, calling people bots, like just being very mean. I'm like, who? So I think I'm going to tomorrow, because since I can't Twitter and waste time on Twitter, I'm going to look on Twitter, but I want to do a game. I think on Sunday with Sunday, for everyone watching Sunday's Golden Shower Sunday stream, will be Brian McWilliams of Lions of Liberty. He's on, and we're starting 2 hours later. So we'll be starting 4:00 Eastern. But anyways, I want to do a game like Trump tweet or local newscaster tweet. It's like that'll be the game because it's like they're saying the most mean shit, and they're like, I'm like, and he's like, I'm a journalist, and it's like, they just drive me fucking. I'm kind of glad I'm off of Twitter because I at this point, like, I was so excited to get on Sunday, but I had to go early, obviously. But I was like, I'm gonna bully the fuck out of them because I had shared it, and then I saw was saying shit about people because Liberty Twitter went after him, and I'm like, he's not used to that, like, because they say real shit, but. And then I lost my account later. I think it was like, that was Sunday. I think Monday afternoon, because I was looking online on my phone when I would get service just to look at my account through a different Twitter account that's banned. And then I noticed it was gone. And I was like, oh, I got banned. And Paul was sweet and appealed it. And they were like, no. And I was on all the protective stuff with that one. And I still got, so it has to be somewhere. It has to be someone at Twitter just doesn't like me. It has to be.
Yeah, somebody doesn't like you. Liberty Dino said somebody has a weird crush or something like that. I was like, it's definitely not a healthy crush.
It's weird. It's just so weird.
It's very weird. They're very much out for you and Heck.
And we're like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm putting it in the chat, Jeff, my Insta. Hopefully it shows up. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if Elon, if he buys it or whatever, like, I'm not holding out hope because he also wants to put shit in our fucking brains too. Like, he's had that thought of putting that Neuralink in our brains, which I understand could be positive. Like, because even Heck said if he got that Neuralink, it could fix his eye problem. But he was like, I'm still not fucking doing it. Are you there still? Is your audio there? Oh, she froze. Hey. She'll have to restart it. The whole fucking thing. First shot, well, we all are dumbasses sometimes, so that's what it is. Anyways, I wanted to like bully that guy, which if you guys are still on Twitter, don't bully, but go call out Chris Vanderveen of 9 News Denver. I actually had my one account, I almost had as many followers as this local fucking news dude. So I'm like, okay, bro. Like, I'm just a normal person. I have as many followers as you on Twitter. So it was just, and he was all about the COVID stuff and exactly, Buxom. He was like, that's just weird. I understand wanting to do it where it could like help people, but then they'll be like, well, everyone should do it. That's the thing with everything. Like, a new technology will get invented and then they want to force everybody to get it. And that's what they'll do with the Neuralink and the whole fucking cyber world and on Meta and all that shit. It'll be voluntary until it's not. Okay, here she is. She's back. I got her. Yeah. I was just talking about the Neuralink stuff and like, it's all cool and all that stuff about like tapping into the fucking metaverse is cool and all, and it's voluntary, but then at some point they'll make it not voluntary, just like they tried to do with the vaccine and shit. So that's what's just weird about all that shit.
Yeah.
Paul, I don't have a chandelier in my closet for shit. Paul says, not gonna lie, if he brings me back to Twitter, he'll put the chip in his head. I'm not doing it. Might not have a choice. Who knows what they'll fucking do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with that whole situation. And I don't know, like, how much hope I have for things to change. Hopefully he doesn't have some really dirty shit on himself that.
Well, I think he does, but the thing is, like, he asked if he's going to be a free speech absolutist. That's hard to do, so yeah, I don't know. I'm like Trump. Me and Hex are Trump. We're like Trump. We were banned out with and what's his name? Conceptual James Lindsay. He got banned, he thinks, for the G word too. It just becomes where they don't like you. And that's what I'm saying with the libs of TikTok, because they especially, all they do is post real things anyways. It's not like they do anything wrong, but they keep getting back on. So I'm like, what, are they like using a lawyer or something? Like, I don't know. Because I never even got an option with my first account that got banned, supposedly because of that picture. All they had to do was like, maybe you could just change it. And they never, because a lot of people, they'll say, delete this tweet and you're fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, but then I'm like, why can't I just change the picture if the picture's so bad? If that's the bad thing. So it's maybe the algos pointed out that Hex and I were more powerful. That's what I gotta say. I don't know. Yeah, Buxom's got all the pool pics. They're on Insta too, Paul. You should get on Instagram. Another thing.
I only get on Instagram like a couple times a week.
I used to not, but now I'm on there more. And a lot of people did follow me from Twitter, so it's different, but at least it's some of the same audience. And people send sweet messages and shit, so it's nice, but how dumb. How fucking dumb. And then there's other people who like give up Twitter on purpose. So I'm like, can I have your account? Actually, I don't know if did you ever know Unicorn Daddy, the black dude who would post his ass? So he's in the Discord. Not that I'm saying this out loud. This is not real. This is fake information. But he was like, you can use mine. And I was like, oh, that's just so sweet. But I'm like, they'll figure it out. I feel like, because I can't help but post pics. I can't help it. Like, that may have been what got this last one pulled too. I don't know, because I had posted that Facebook. And I was going to delete that in the video I posted when I got on Sunday, and I didn't have time to. I was like, ugh. Oh, well. First shot. Who wants mommy pics? Hey, Brian. Stoner. Mommy, first shot. You're fine with all the hot Liberty chicks now you follow anyways, like Bunny and everybody who posts hot shit. Elena.
Grayson said hi, Jeff.
Hi. Okay. Hi. You know what's so funny is when I was a kid, I like, it's just a different world with the technology, because if my parents were doing something with other adults, like I kind of was forced to hang out with adults because I was so young, but I was like, I don't want to hang out. I want to hang out with adults. But now with technology, kids like it. They're like, oh, this is cool. I can see myself, you know. First shot. They are as good. First shot.
Do you see what time it is?
Bedtime.
And hopefully Stoner said the king is here. No. Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock. We'll go to bed.
What? Oh my God.
Thanks, Jeff. I know it was funny too, because I heard like all these people were talking so much shit about the sparkler video, and I'm like, okay. But I don't care. Like, it was so funny how big of a deal it was for some people, and I was like, you know, me was the first one I made it in 2 seconds. It's just like not a big deal. Everybody was like, apparently they were just talking so much shit, but whatever, it's fine. That's another thing about Twitter too. I hate it, is all the fucking private and weird shit fits and fights people would get in about personal shit, and it's like, we have the fucking government to fight, and y'all are in group chats talking how you want to like.
You're fighting each other.
Like early on, I didn't get involved in so much shit, and then they like attacked me for it. I'm like, that's their personal shit. Why would I don't even know them. Like, I barely even followed them on Twitter. Like, I didn't see their. And then like there was this whole crusade against me for a while, and like, luckily a lot of people were like figured it out. But did you say good night? What did you say? I still have the sparkler video on my phone. I was telling Paul, I'm like, I should make that pay-per-view or something.
It's 8:59. 1 minute. And then one more wake up and we'll go to the hotel. Wake up
What time are you guys leaving tomorrow?
after Adam gets off of work.
Nice.
I think the earliest we can check in is 3 at the hotel. So
Yeah. How far of a drive is it?
45, 50
Oh,
minutes.
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not
No,
bad.
yeah.
So
Loved all the personal shit on Twitter too. And then like the one guy who was like, well, if you're gonna be a trad, you can't post thought pics and shit. It's like, what does it fucking matter? Like, there's so much real shit going on in the world, and you're literally like making this whole like it's then you're like, oh, you're a controlling dude, obviously. It's like you don't even fucking know this girl. And that's like he said to me too. He's like, well, all these trad conservative girls, and it was just cleavage, and he like flipped the fuck out. And then he posted pictures of him with slutty girls and shit. Like, he's like, no, I'm not against being that. I just want her to be a trad, like she. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, you should let people just be who the fuck they want. You crazy dude. Jeffy, I know that's why I did the big long one though, because that's and everyone keeps saying, hey, put the to do like Roman candles or bottle rockets out your butt, and I'm like, no, because they have backwards projection like that. And there was that video for a while in the where a girl did, they like lit a firecracker in a girl's butt, which they probably stole from me, but regardless, like I'm not fucking doing that. So that is trad, Adam, basically. And they can people can express their sexuality and feel sexual. What happened? What happened?
So he was waiting for the clock to turn to 9 o'clock because 9 o'clock is bedtime. So he was like, oh, it's 9 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock. And he like turned around to run and his feet were. And I mean, he's okay. That's why it was so funny. But the way he do
it's funny. It's always funny when people fall and shit.
Yeah, and he was totally fine. So it just like it made it even funny.
Love it.
He's so excited, and then his feet just went right out from underneath.
Lord.
So I'll put him to bed in a minute, and then I'll come back.
You gonna put him to bed? All right, I'll pee when you do that.
I might pee when I put him to bed too.
If you want to keep going, either I don't know how you're feeling. Now he goes to bed, so you're probably like feeling better. Like, yeah. Okay.
He was a little bit better tonight with not being all up in my business.
Right.
He was
9 o'clock. Brush your teeth.
He's so excited.
Does Grace a new reality show? Stoner says you guys need a reality show to show how real people live. And not like, hey, I'm transing my kid for attention.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. I don't need a reality.
Okay, we're here, Stoner. Stoner wants us to keep going, so we'll keep going.
We are. And Grayson will be to bed and I'll be a little bit more relaxed. And like I'm like I have to do like one load of laundry tomorrow and just like clean up and pack the last of our stuff. But I got most of everything packed, and we got some really good snacks.
That's important.
Yeah, and plus like with Grayson and I being at the hotel on Friday night and Saturday night, so there is a Subway right by us because there's like not a ton of shit in that area, like where we are. And there's a McDonald's by us, but the thing is even the places outside of Cedar Point around there are expensive. They're like more expensive than like, your standard suburban.
Good night, Paul.
Good night, Paul. But yeah, so we got some really good fucking snacks, and I'm gonna make. You're clean? Are you ready for bed?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Go get daddy. I'm going to make chicken salad for chicken salad sandwiches. And then I'm going to make Alfredo pasta to take with us. We're not going to eat out when we're there.
The hotel probably has like a little fridge too, at the very least, right? Most
Yeah,
of them do nowadays.
and we have the 2 rooms, and it has a fridge and a microwave. And then we have the 2 rooms, so we have 2 fridges and 2 microwaves. And then we'll have our cooler. So, but I made sure to get us a bunch of snacks because I'm like, you know, to be in that hotel room with Grayson, like, and last time we did this, I didn't bring myself a lot of snacks, and I'm just like, man, I'm hungry. Like, I'm sitting on the bed watching movies. Like, oh,
what's your favorite snack for like watching a movie at the hotel?
I don't know. I'm such a muncher. Well, this time I got nachos with cheese. So I'll have that this time. But yeah, I love like any kind of chips. Like I love crunchy stuff.
Yeah.
I love things that crunch. Oh, I'm gonna go say goodnight to him really quick.
All right.
Oh, and I'm gonna pee too.
Okay. I'll go pee too in a minute. Here we go, guys. I could bring the camera with me into the bathroom, but I'm not going to. Kings Island. Okay. Chat, can you guys hold it down for a minute? Okay. Thank you guys for putting up with our pee breaks. One day we'll have a video for it. But where's Kings Island? Is that in Ohio as well? Stoner, you've been all over the country. Well, you're from Florida originally, right? We talked before, but I used to love amusement parks and roller coasters, but now I can't. Oh, it's in Cincinnati. Okay. Where's Cincinnati? I gotta look at a map. I understand where like Columbus is and Dayton is. I don't remember where Cincinnati is. Cincinnati, wait, that one's kind of like south. Isn't that where the airport? Isn't Cincinnati like by Kentucky, basically? Isn't that the airport? Everything's so weird over there. Everything out here in the West is so far apart. How do you spell Cincinnati? Okay. Inshallah. Since he's on a river. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like, but it's by Lexington. It's not far from Lexington. Okay. Got it. Anyways, yeah, everyone make sure to watch Golden Showers on Sunday with Brian McWilliams, who's funny. And then the next Sunday, not the 30th. Okay, so what's the Sunday? That's right.
Oh, I did that. Sorry.
You did that. Let me look at a calendar here. So next Sunday is the 16th is Brian McWilliams. 23rd is Hotep Jesus. And then on the 30th, Reed Coverdale is going to come on. So, anyways. Just promoting my shit.
That's crazy. Hotep Jesus is coming on. Adam, where are the cigarettes?
Reed?
Yeah, can I have a smoke?
Oh, Reed. Yeah, Reed's gonna come on. Also another Twitter banned, although he does run other accounts on Twitter, but
Yeah, Adam really likes Reed Coverdale. I
well,
really
'cause
like him.
he's like a normal dude. And I remember he kind of blew up, like we were all kind of came on at the same time, and he blew up too. And he's a normal fucking dude, you know, and I like how he grew up kind of like with conservative Christian family, and he's like not that, but he's not like hateful. He's not like a hateful atheist like people get, you know. And so I like people like that. He used to drive the trucks hauling those big ass fucking dozers and shit around. So like he's a manly man, you know?
Man.
And he lives with this is someone else I need to get on is Phil from All That Remains, but I think him and Phil like live together in New Hampshire now. So
Really?
yeah, it's kind of cute.
Interesting.
I used to never get I like stopped getting on Twitter for during COVID I did get on, or not Twitter, Instagram. That's where I started, like, because I was on Twitter saying my shit on Twitter, and then I would get on Instagram and my friends would like attack me. And I was like, what? Like, what? But then I kept going, you know, so fuck them. Kind of atheist. But that's the thing. If you believe in God, then you believe in God. I can't say you don't, you know? I just don't. But I also like can pick up lessons from you know, I can see lessons and shit and all that, but it's just, you know, I don't know. Oh, we got 26 likes already. Thanks everybody. Doing great tonight. Yeah, just like I always thought my whole thing was like the whole point of being a human, the purpose is to be as good as a God in like the good way, you know, like Jesus or whatever you manifest a good God as. Like the whole thing is we have to become the best we come, which is like what you're supposed to do, you know. And if it helps people by going to church and doing it that way, then great. I have no problem with that. Just don't groom girls.
Or boys, for that matter.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that fucking happens too, obviously. But that was that whole thing with that. Regardless, well, someone else said that they're like that whole Tom Woods thing was actually he probably fucking did groom his first wife a good amount. And I'm like, we've talked about this before. Sorry, I'm repeating myself, but like I've said, I'm like, I don't care what he did or not. I've experienced that shit. So I know that shit happens where they're like older 20-year-old boys are like, oh, there's these 16-year-old girls at Bible camp and I need to like get in their head, you know. Bye, Arm Dape. Love ya.
Bye.
That was the whole, when that all dropped, like a lot of people fucking went crazy. And I'm like, listen, we don't even have to talk about him specifically. Let's talk about how this happens. And like, if people get so like, all these people will talk about pedophiles and shit, we're defending him. And I'm like, well, why can't we talk about this? And like, you're being, you know, it's just so silly. And no one wants to listen. Like, I don't know. It's such a demon. Like I've said, it's just the biggest fucking demon. Every fucking civilization. I know in Rome, they knew it was wrong to do it too, but they did it. You know, like I have to look this up, but because Joe Rogan's researched it a lot, but there was like sex clubs you could go to basically that were for a kid. Like you would get a kid. You would pay to have a kid to do shit with. And then like things were just weird back then. And obviously like you were older, younger, right? Like we all know, like obviously, but we just know better now. And if someone doesn't want to, like, you have to let people become who they're gonna become. It just drives me nuts.
My headphones died, just so you know.
Okay.
I'm not plugged in. They don't. Where's the cord for my headphones?
Right here, I got you. I'm hooking you up. Come on, baby.
Well, I was gonna mix another drink.
Why are you doing that shit for?
They knew better too, Bucks. Yeah, everyone you know when you're harming someone's the reason they go after kids is because they don't know. And you're like, that's what they get turned on by, is like this person who doesn't know what you're doing. Like,
So professional right now.
Yeah, I mean, she's monetizing stuff now, and you're doing this.
I'm just mixing drinks.
Mixed feelings about drinks.
took that shot. I'm gonna go. Yeah, first shot. That's what's so sick to me. Like, anytime anyone can have sex with someone, even on a very light level where they know they're not turned on, I'm just like, I don't trust you. I don't. It's not like all these dudes are like, well, she's so dry and blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, because she probably wasn't fucking turned on, and you still went in anyways, and you because you're dumb and you like didn't read it.
Okay.
Hot mic on crib seduction.
It's too cold to be sitting out there too long.
Were you out there again just now?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. I don't know. What else we got to talk about? What else? I'm not on Twitter because whoa, it's like louder. It's like louder without your mic on. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
First shot. Men aren't the smartest. Yeah, but you can tell when someone's not turned on. I'm sorry, but you can tell when someone's not turned on. That's why, like, I like all the trad people are like, "Oh, hookup culture's awful," blah blah. And I'm like, okay, maybe to some extent I support hookup culture because get fucked if you feel that lust feeling. But there's so many people who just don't. They just want to they have sex and they're not even turned on for some sort of validation. I'm like, that's what's bad. If you're having good sex and whatever, that's one thing. But like these people who like, I just don't understand it. And I'm such a sexual person. I've been around so much stuff like that where it's like, how, I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, first shot. All of them. See, that's how I know is he says all the ladies are turned on around me. I'm like, that's how I know it's fake. Because no one is turned on by everybody. I know there are some people who are just can be physically turned on, more women too. But like no one is turned on by everyone. It's a chemistry thing. Like, like it's just, I don't know. Anyway, how you doing? How you doing, Alex? What'd you say? Do you have to pee? Did you just say that?
No, I peed when I went second grade. So. Yeah. And then I ate some of that apple cake.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I made a cake to take to Cedar Point this weekend, and we've ate quite a bit of it. So I'm gonna make another one tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine because it's only fresh. You gotta eat it while it's fresh. Any baking stuff, I always say, well, it's not gonna get fresher, so might as well eat it all now.
Yeah, and like this hotel doesn't have a breakfast.
Continental breakfast.
Yeah, and the last hotel we stayed at there, this hotel is a little bit closer. It's a little bit older, so it was a little bit cheaper too. But the last hotel we stayed at had like sausage and eggs and waffles and it was so good to like wake up to that every day. Not have to cook. Yeah, this place doesn't have anything. So I'm like, well, that apple cake's like a good thing. You can like eat it for breakfast. You can eat it as a snack. Yeah.
No, I like the continental breakfast. Is that what they call them?
Yeah. We always look for them too. And it's like it's gonna be this forever joke. When we went to a family reunion that was probably like, I don't know, like more than an hour from here. Adam and I drove out there both days, but some people stayed by there. Like my mom and dad stayed at a hotel by there because it was a 2-day family reunion. And like my aunt was talking about how so and so is going to do the family reunion next year at their house, but I was looking at hotels by there and they cost this much, and my mom was like, well, that's how much our hotel cost us out by here, by your house. And she was like, yeah, but you got a continental breakfast, Mary.
Like it's so like
Yeah, like it was just such an old person moment, dude. It was so funny to me. And it was just like it was just so my aunt, that's just so my aunt to say that. So now when we look at hotels, it's like always like they got a continental breakfast. Like that hotel we booked in Niagara Falls has a continental breakfast.
those are nice. And I remember like during the whole COVID shit, they shut that shit down. It's like the
Like,
fuck.
yeah, like a lot of places you had to, because Scar and I stayed at a hotel and they normally had a continental breakfast, but instead they just had like some fruit and like some tiny Entenmann's like pastries. And then it was
Little cheese danishes and shit.
yeah, they were just like little ones. But yeah, like the place we just stayed, like they had fucking yogurt, they had cereal, they had juices.
You
It
know
was
where it has the best? It's you can get a good deal on it, but have you ever stayed at Embassy Suites?
probably I've stayed
They're
at
all really cool. Like the hotels, they're usually set up kind of cool, and there's like a garden and trees in the middle. But they have like their breakfast is like you can do like it's like out of control. Like it's kind of worth the extra what you pay for the hotel room because you get this amazing breakfast. You can do like build your own omelets. It's like a whole fucking buffet. Basically, it's so good. I was like going there just for the fucking breakfast, and I don't even eat breakfast, but I'm like, it's so good.
Yeah, it was awesome having it at that hotel because we were there 3 nights. Um, and it was nice, like because it was all food that the kids liked, so it was like so easy to get up in the morning and just go down there and just get them a bunch of breakfast. So I'm looking forward to that dining pass for Cedar Point next year because I'm so excited to not have to worry about what we're gonna eat.
Yeah, that's just a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it's like that's like gonna be the best part of that vacation.
Yeah, well, that's like, yeah, that's what's fun about vacation.
Yeah, like normally it's like um like you all go back and forth, like, oh, do you want to get this or do you want to get this or should we get this? Should we bring this? Should we bring that? So yeah, it's gonna be so much easier and nicer to just eat out of spot there. And there
Yeah.
are new restaurants there too. They have so many restaurants there.
By Cedar Point?
Yeah. Like they have a shit ton of restaurants. Like they have burger restaurants, barbecue restaurants. They have I think there's like a Panda Express there, and there's like another like
Hey,
Asian
Mike.
restaurant.
Those are a
There's
lot of choices.
yeah, there's so much food there. So it's actually really hard not to eat there. So we go there, it's like, oh my God, this food smells so good.
Why is it like, especially when you go to like amusement parks, you just fucking want to eat? Like,
And then that smell, they just like waft it through the air, dude. It's just, oh my God, all that fried food. Like last time, for like a snack, we got like a thing of corn dogs and some French fries, but yeah, like we're gonna take advantage of those dining passes next year. We're all definitely gonna get our $100 worth.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes that shit like it works out if you know you're gonna eat. Like
If you know you're gonna use it, like the cost is a lot initially because it's like $100 for each of us to add one onto our pass. But then like when you break it down to like how many times we're going to end up going there and then just the convenience of when we do stay there for a week at that one place, it's going to be so convenient to have those. So yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna eat me some fucking food.
I love it. That's all I did in Wisconsin, obviously, because my parents are like, and I don't eat like 3 meals a day. They're like, they eat 3 meals a day. So I'm like, we ate. And then I snacked. It's just like a cabin. So you're snacking, like, I was like, my mom's like, I would go walk because I could get service on my phone if I walked up and down the road. And then like, I'm like, if I sit in this house, I will just eat. Like, I have to get out and walk. They're like, you're walking again. I'm like, yeah, I'm walking fucking again. So, whatevs.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna munch a lot this weekend.
Hell yeah. As you should. Especially if you're like hanging out in the room and watching movies. It's like kind of like being able to have snacks for a special thing like that. It's kind of fun, like it's, I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah, I make sure to get Grayson plenty of snacks to keep him happy.
And maybe not, does he like sugary stuff or salty stuff?
He likes more like sugary, sweet stuff. And like he likes fruit and stuff like that. Like he really likes fruit. But
Adam said he's gonna drink. Well, yeah, but
I'll probably drink Saturday night when they go to
the nighttime stuff.
Yeah. Like I'll probably just have Adam give me a 6-pack, but yeah, I'll probably drink that night. But yeah, I got to take Grayson to the pool, and I'm like, man, I hope it's not cold. Because the one pool we went into, I was fine the first night, and then the next night we went in, I was like freezing. Not this past when we stayed at before. Like I took him in there while Adam and Scar were at Hollow Weekends, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cold. But he only has me to swim with. It's not like Scar's with him. So I have to be there in there with him. But thankfully, like he got a little bit cold too. And he was like, I want to go back to the room.
Like the pool heater wasn't working or something like that.
I don't know. The second night, it just seemed like a lot colder. I don't think I even got into the pool.
And it was like an indoor pool at the hotel.
Yeah, so we'll see. But he's chill, and it'll be fun. I'll just watch movies, and I'll be so relaxed because I don't feel like I have to always be cleaning,
You're at the hotel. Although I'm at a hotel, I'm always cleaning. I'm like, I'll go to a hotel with some people. Sometimes they're so messy, and I'm like, but that's something different. It's just like they walk in the room and throw shit, and I'm like, can we have some semblance of organization here?
Like I clean some stuff. Like when we get to the hotel, like Adam checks us in, and then I go to the room with a couple things, and I just start getting everything together. But yeah, well, with the kids, when we stay in just like your standard, 2 queen size bedrooms, it gets tough.
It gets messy.
So much stuff, and they're just like drinking juice boxes, and there's water bottles, and there's Gatorade bottles, and there's snacks.
They get messy so fast and easy. It's just so funny.
But it's like when I don't feel like I have to be cleaning windows and mopping floors and vacuuming and shit like that. So it's just basically just throwing stuff away. But yeah, at least this time it's the same thing. We have the queen room, but Scar and her friend are going to be in another room. So
is that one friend that you told me about with the one mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad she got to go.
Yeah. So that'll be really fun for them. It'll be fun to have a hotel room kind of to yourself with your friend.
It's a memory at that age, especially. It's fun.
Yeah. Fun. I can't freaking wait, dude. Because they're just driving me nuts with their arguing. Like oh my God. Like, yeah. Oh.
First shot says he's always spilling bog water on the carpet. Yeah, okay. First shot. Then he said he wishes his wife cleaned. Poor first shot. One day his wife is gonna see everything he does, and we're not gonna see first shot anymore. She should be like, you are not allowed in there.
Oh my god. That's probably true though. You should be careful for a shot.
It's not like he's doing anything wrong technically, but when people don't get it, the internet shit, they don't get it. You know what I mean? Like they don't get it. It's not their thing.
Sure.
Are you about to pass out? Are you good?
No. Or yeah. No. I was like looking over at that light.
What kind of vodka are you drinking with your drink?
Nose.
Me too.
Well,
She does
we-
mine. Boop,
We have
boop.
some leftover.
Oh, and your cabinets looked really nice. I did get those pictures. They came through eventually. They're like, good job.
Yeah, and that all like they kind of been bothering me, you know, but then when we had everybody here, I was like, yeah, this setup is just because I had like certain bowls and stuff over here and the plates over there. So I made it so that everything that's in this isn't stuff that we use a lot, and then the other one is the stuff that we use like every day. So I did a lot of rearranging.
Well, it's nice because it's like got the glass on those things, so you can kind of like display shit. It's like a china cabinet almost right there. So
Like my mom never really put like dishes in there. Like that was, and that was part of the problem with buying my parents' home is I had to like realize a different way of doing things, that like this is my home and just be, you know, but I would look at things like, well, that's just where the plates go, you know, but that actually doesn't work for us, you know. I like that Grayson doesn't have to get on a chair to get himself a bowl or get himself a cup or get himself a plate, you know, like I like that, you know, that he can just go and get his own things and
yeah, be independent enough.
yeah. Well, I'm just dreading the day that he does try and get himself like his own cereal. It would be like have you ever seen the first Chucky movie? Do you remember the first Chucky movie?
No, I didn't watch that.
So it's his mom's birthday, and this kid, he's like right around Grayson's age too. He like gets this big bowl of cereal and he's like pouring the milk and it's just like going all over. Because the milk is so heavy. Like that's, you know, like
yeah, well, you want kids to be able to like be independent and pour for themselves, but the bottles are so heavy for them half the time. They're like,
and I'm not buying them fucking half-gallon things. We go through too much milk for that, and it's so much more expensive to do it that way. So yeah, it'll be a while. The other day I got up and I thought he had cereal, but I got up and he was already up and he was sitting there eating a bowl of macaroni salad watching cartoons.
that he got out of the fridge or something.
Yeah, like they just Adam bought just a store-bought mac salad and he just went and got himself a nice old bowl of mac salad for breakfast. I was like, well,
I like it. I know your kids don't go to school, but one thing my parents did is they made us make, because we made our lunches, they made us make our own lunches. And I really think that is a good thing, you know, to some extent, because you're like, you have to feed yourself at some point, you know, you have to be like responsible enough to like make your own lunch. I always like tell people, because you know, everything's just so crazy now anyways with parents and shit. And like, but I'm like, it wasn't terrible making my own lunch. Like it was never terrible. It wasn't bad. And it taught me to be independent, you know? So
like Star can make her own food. She's totally self-sufficient. And
yeah.
Grayson's learning, like, you know, he's using the stove a little bit, which can be slightly terrifying, but he has to learn.
And the funny part is, and then when he gets old, because my friend whose dad passed away recently, he was trying, like before he got completely bedridden, he was like, he was trying to cook something on the stove and left it going. And they're like, oh, Jesus. Like, thank God we moved him in and we're here to watch him. Because, like, isn't that funny? You start where someone has to wipe your ass. And if you live long enough, you go out where someone has to wipe your ass. Like, it's just how it goes.
Right?
One more wake up. Let's go. Go to sleep.
Yeah, one more wake up. one more week that we can separate our children from each other for like 3 days.
Be like, girls, go in the other room and stay there. Hey, Cece.
We're separated from each other for 2 nights. And that's time, maybe we can find to do it.
Ew.
I don't know what he said, but that was a funny face.
Dirty turkey stuff.
She said
Mm.
now.
Not happening. Definitely not happening. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait for them to be separated.
Isn't that funny? Like just like kids with my one niece and nephew, and they have a sibling in between them, but they can't sit together at a table if you go out or whatever, because they will fucking like get into shit. Like they start, you're just like, why? Why did you have to instigate that? You're like, but they can't help it. Like they just kids
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? It's so crazy. I'm just like, why?
Just why do it? Ugh.
They just, oh my god, they just keep going and going and going. So yeah, I'm excited to have them separated, and I'm excited about snacks. I feel like I should have gotten more snacks though. Now that I'm thinking about it, should have gotten more snacks.
You can pick more up on the way, maybe.
Yeah, Adam, you should get me more snacks.
You can never have enough snacks. My like whole snack bag for the road trip out there was just like ridiculous. Like I always, when I do road trips, it's just like there are so many fucking snacks. It's ridiculous. Like I have to. But my parents were like that because we only did road trips, and they would get so many snacks because we didn't like go out to eat and stuff. So like I'm like, that's just what happens now.
That's how my parents were too. So yeah, I'm like all about the snacks. Yeah, I feel like I should have gotten more snacks. But I am making, usually I just make like one thing of this Alfredo pasta, but I'm gonna double the recipe. I'm gonna make 2 batches because I guarantee you, I'm gonna just be mowing that stuff watching.
Oh yeah, what's the recipe for the sausage thing? Is it a pound of sausage, 1 cream cheese, and 1 Rotel?
Yep.
Okay.
Just cook the sausage and then throw everything in the crock pot. Turn it on low.
I was gonna try it this weekend. We're up in Wisconsin, but I didn't get to it. So
it's so good. I'm gonna be making that again because we're gonna have just like a small gathering of people for a fire, like the last kind of fire of the year before it gets too cold. And I'm gonna make a bunch of food, make a bunch of munchy food. I'm gonna make this spinach artichoke dip that I make. Oh my god, it's so good.
Is it a heated up one or a cold one?
It's heated.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have made that for the weekend. Spinach artichoke.
What are nabs, Constitutional Carpenter? What are nabs? 40 pack of nabs. And that's what you get. He's a stepdad. But he has a hot wife that he loves. But what are nabs? I don't know what nabs are. What treat that is.
I'm gonna figure out what I need to make that. Maybe I will make that tomorrow to take with us.
Stoner lives in a good place. Yeah, because he just walked to Dollar General and got snacks tonight. I still need to go have $1 pizza with Stoner. Maybe next week I could do that. Because everyone loves him. And like Stoner's been around, and Stoner's been a live stream watcher since like forever for me. So he's ride or die like the rest of FMU. Huh? Shit. You want to keep going or you want to end it and go private? How do you feel? It's not that late, but you have vacation tomorrow too, so.
Yeah, I have a really long night tomorrow of sitting in front of a TV, stuck in my face.
Oh, the peanut butter cracker things. Oh, okay. Those are good. I do like that. I like the cheddar chips with the cheddar cheese. Those little sandwiches you can get, and there's like 6 in a pack. I like those.
We got some ho-hos too. I'm gonna make some chocolate chip cookies tomorrow too.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other
I made a shit ton of chocolate chip cookies and brought them up to Wisconsin. I didn't bring any home. It's like, God damn it. My mom and dad are gonna have to do it.
I can't even remember what else we got. I don't know, but there's like 2 bags of food sitting in the closet.
You'll be fine. Homegrown potatoes and sliced thin. That's a good snack. Yeah, the cheddar ones are good. That's what I like.
I think there's good movies on. You know what I like? So, and I'll do it too, but I think Adam does it more than me. But like it's almost like we had like too many options of things to watch. You know what I mean? Like it was like you couldn't decide on something, and it was like you're just going through hundreds of thousands of movies on all your different apps, and now I'm just like, whatever, I'm just gonna watch this. So I hope that there's good movies on to watch because this will be cable, probably be like it's a roadway in. It's probably like only like 12 stations.
There might be more. Might be more.
Yeah. Like this past time, Scar and I were watching Friends, and then when it was me and Grayson the one night, I was watching The Lost Boys and a Chucky movie. I can't remember what the other movie was I was watching. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough evening.
It'll be hard just laying there relaxing. Who's taking care of the dog? Adam's mom again?
No, Adam's friend comes over, and we're gonna actually leave her in the living room. We're gonna put up a couple gates because she's been like better. Like we keep her out of her kennel at night some nights. Like we like to give the cats a break from her at night because the cats will want to get in bed with us sometimes.
Yeah.
That's wrong, but yeah. So like we've been letting her out of her kennel, and she's like good when we're asleep. But even in the winter time, I don't sleep in the bed. I sleep in the living room when Adam's not here. And she was always fine then too. Like she never got into anything or so
You have
she's
to
been,
what? You have to like set down the rules for the dogs at first, and then eventually, then they're like when you start letting them be more independent, then usually they're like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything.
yeah, they're like the opposite of kids in that way.
Yeah, that's why I always laugh because I'm like, you know what? You can't throw a kid in a cage. You can't throw a kid in a kennel. You get in trouble for that stuff.
But yeah, but I don't know what we're gonna have to figure out somebody that can take care of her when we go to Colorado and then when we go to Cedar Point for the week next year. Because she can't, like, we're just going to be gone a couple of nights and, like, he can come by and, check on her.
Right, but for a longer, yeah.
For a longer stay like that, like, we're going to have to figure something else out. If she's fixed by then, Marina could probably take her.
Does Marina have a dog?
Yeah, oh my God, they have this beautiful pit bull. Oh my God.
What color is it?
He's like a tannish, like a lighter color, like a really light color. He's got like those beautiful, like grayish blue eyes, and he's so calm and so chill and just the sweet. Like they've had him since he was a puppy. They didn't, because I know sometimes like pit bulls from shelters, it can be iffy because they're often highly abused animals too. Like that's
Yeah, they have. It's not necessarily the breed. It's that the fucking people who are drawn to the breed are shitty people half the time.
right. So yeah, but they had him since he was a puppy, and yeah, dude, he's just the sweetest little chill dog. But yeah, I can't. Like when him and Savannah hung out, Savannah was like putting him down, like I'll tell you what's what. But now they can't be together because she goes into heat. So yeah, That's another reason I just wanted to adopt a dog. I was like, if you just adopt them, they come fixed. It's so much cheaper.
It's true.
So
There should be like a cheap clinic to do that somewhere around there though. Like there are like even in Colorado, like there are some vets that are like, hey, we know this is stupid how expensive it gets to do this shit. Sometimes they're like, we'll do a spay and neuter clinic, and it's like, it's like not super expensive, but it's not like a private, it's still the same good care and everything, but they're like, listen, we care about spaying and neutering more than making money at this point. So
yeah,
there's probably something there too. I don't know.
it's yeah, it's an issue that we're gonna have to figure out. And it's so funny because like Adam, I will like start like I will have both of like all of our trips planned out for next year by the end of this year. Like I'll know like about how much they're gonna cost us, what we're gonna do. Like I don't plan like an itinerary, but I get everything taken care of because that shit comes up on you fast. Like it does. Like and he's like so like we'll worry about it at a later date. Like it's still months away. And then I'm like, dude, like
That's why you're a good partnership because you're,
but yeah, like we need to like really sit down and figure out what we're gonna do with Savannah when we go to Colorado and then when we go for a week.
You'll figure it out. You'll find someone.
Yeah, we'll figure if our yard was fenced in and she would go down these stairs, I might not be as worried, but yeah. We'll figure it out. I don't fucking care if I guess if it comes down to it, then she will just stay here alone because I'm not giving up my trips. It's funny. I was looking at like because like we look at water park stuff all the time, so like I'll get like ads or whatever, and there was the like top 10 best water parks, and one of them was that.
Yeah, Waterworld's always like one of the top 10. It's super fucking awesome.
Yeah, and that's why I think when we come, I think we are gonna just go to Great Wolf Lodge Monday and Tuesday night because Wednesday and Thursday I'd like to go to that water world because like a lot of people said that like it's really big and
probably 2 days, you won't get everything in one day, especially in the summer when the lines are long and shit.
Yeah. And I would figure a Friday would be busier, so it would be better to go like on a Wednesday and Thursday, and then Monday and Tuesday Great Wolf Lodge. I'm excited to see Great Wolf Lodge though; it looks really nice.
It's a newer one,
The outside looks completely different than other Great Wolf Lodges. Like it's pretty weird.
It has a good view. It's in a beautiful area. There's like everything where it just got built and all the shit around it, like just in the last 5-10 years got built up. Like it was nothing there. It was hilarious.
Yeah. That'll be like a lot of fun. Kids can see different stuff and we get to do water parks. So, which wears them out.
That's always good.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to end the live and go private? How do you feel?
We can do that.
Let's do that. Thanks everyone for watching. We had a lot of watchers tonight. It's pretty good. Thanks everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you on Sunday next, I believe. Unless I do something else, but bye everybody. Love you.